Pop culture.
Quiet on set. I'm cultured, okay? Don't disrespect me.
We've got a guest in here for our intro.
We got a fan base here. The peanut gallery. Guys, you know who I am, but if you don't, I'm George Gonzalez.
And I'm your pal, Ricky Liordi. And this episode, we had the lovely Cat Williams in the studio.
Not the comedian, the cool cat. The Cat Williams.
The Cat Williams. If you don't know her in the city, she's part of Entertainment Tonight. And she's a Western grad, MIT, Shoutout, even though we don't really love MIT. She did, which is great. We chatted about some good party stories, some of her favorite red carpet moments, some good traveling stories.
Some celebrity encounters.
She shared some details.
Some cool stories. Kat's got some cool stories, guys. Highly recommend this listen. It was a lot of fun. Kat, thanks for coming on and being a great guest.
You're a pal.
Guys, quick note. I know we said it before. We'll say it again. Go to your local dispensary or online and pick up a copy of Kind Magazine. Out now, the December edition. On the cover, you will see the legendary Matty Matheson. And within the edition, you will also see your pals. We did some podcast awards. We did a little piece on who the pals are. And, we really appreciate it. Thank you, Kind. Guys, go check it out. Pick it up. We'll sign it if you want. Or not. Just get it. That's all.
LFG.
Let's go.
This is cool.
Can I just leave the water here? Is that fine?
Yeah, whatever you want. I just get comfy.
Okay. Okay.
If you need to go to the bathroom too, you can go too.
What do you mean? I just leave?
Yeah.
We'll carry the conversation. Don't worry.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, I gotta edit this. You're just right. Well, it's already going.
That's it. We're live. We're on air. We're on
Oh,
air.
God.
Yes. If you need to step out for any reason.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
Noted. Thank you.
Have you done many podcasts?
I have done radio shows.
Okay,
This
so
is
very
actually
similar.
my first podcast.
I like that.
Yeah.
A few people have said we're like the first podcast.
Podcast virginities.
I love
We're
it.
taking
Yeah.
everybody's.
Yeah.
Better make it good.
Well, you're probably a natural. You're obviously in the media space, so there's not. I don't think this format or anything is new to you.
No,
Yeah.
no, for sure. I've been doing this for 5+ years now. So yeah.
And a
I'm used to
recent
being for the
MIT
camera.
graduate as well. Another
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're at probably 4, I think.
Really?
Me. Well, Carlin didn't graduate, but she went to the MIT program there, and then she
Yeah.
switched out. You and who was the other? Nicole.
It's just a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah,
there
that's
is,
a crazy amount.
Yeah, a
Did
lot
you-
of people took MIT at Western.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it got me to where I am today, so I'm very thankful.
Do you think it was the program or just the person you are?
Program, my background, my parents had their own businesses and they wanted me to go into business school. I was AO for Ivy at Western. That was kind of the plan, and I'm happy that I stuck with media.
What's
'Cause
AO? Sorry.
AO, it means like you've qualified.
Oh, so
They're out of high school, pre-Ivy.
Yes.
Pre-Ivy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's what it was called. That's right. Yeah.
AO?
I forgot. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you had no desire, like just you kind of knew what you wanted to do.
I
You always
always knew since I was a
Want to
baby.
be in the media scene.
Always. I've always been a creative. I grew up directing, writing, acting, modeling. Like I have never strayed from that path.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you just want to be in the field, or was there one like? Did you have a dream job as a kid? Being like, I want to be in front of the camera or behind, or was it just kind of just in general? You just love the whole space.
I love it all. I grew up acting on stage, and my dream was always to be director. And now working as a producer, you kind of get to do everything, which is amazing. I write my own stuff. Some of it I actually speak it in front of the camera. I put it together. So you get to kind of put together all these little components, and that's always what I've loved.
Very cool.
That is interesting. So you said you acted on stage as a kid?
I
So,
did.
like,
I
school
did
plays
theater.
and stuff,
Yeah,
theaters?
and I actually wrote like a school play and had a bunch of people like perform in it, which is really cool.
What high school did you
Wow.
go to? Sorry.
I went to an all-girls school for 14 years.
Holy shit. Wait.
Yeah.
BSS?
No, it's called Havergal College.
That was my next guess. I was the
Yeah.
same race kid, so.
Oh, right. Yeah.
High school dances. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly.
That's how it was.
That's how. So if you went to either one of the all girls schools or one of the all boys schools, they would have each like half semester they would have a school dance. So what you would do is
That's how
essentially-
you meet the boys.
Yeah, and then vice versa. So what the guys would do for
Wait, sorry. Like you guys must have all got like guy side and girls. I must have got so done up, being like, "Oh my god, there's gonna be girls there."
So the
Yeah.
way it worked is, so for St. Mike's dance, we would go to like Loretto Abbey, Bishop Strong, Havergal.
There's a lot of all girls school in
There's
Toronto,
5
wow.
of them. There's 5 ones that we worked with or did dances.
Which one's your favorite?
I dated a girl from BSS. Shout out Geneva Kleiman. I dated her. Well, I don't even think we ever
Her name is
kissed.
Geneva?
Geneva Kleiman.
That's a sick name.
I think she's married now, but I say dated
Putting
like
her on blast.
with air quotes. I don't even think we kissed. We dated in grade 9 or 10. It was my first like real girl.
It was like a hold your hand walking. Like everyone's like, oh,
we went to like Young and Egg, the AC, the
Silver
Cineplex.
City, yeah.
At Young and Egg, and we like sit in the corner. And we bought, like,
that was the spot where you bring your dates. I would go with like 10 friends. Your mom would drop you off, and like all the boys would be waiting, and all the girls go, and you all sit, and you wait for him to hold your hand. You're like, is he gonna put his arm around me? Like, I really hope so.
And then
That
you're like,
was the spot.
yawn and
That's guys. I remember
that's
the first
literally
time
how-
I ever went around a girl in a movie. I thought I was so cool. And
Crystals
my
gave you a fresh 20.
first
eh?
movie I ever went on a date on. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I still remember it. I swear to God, I thought it was the cool. Oh, he gave me. Chris was like, here, take 30.
Oh, he gave you 30,
I think
eh?
he like $30. I was so cool. I was like, baby, you want popcorn? Whatever you want. No, I'm kidding. I don't remember everything, but
with these high school dances. So we would go to each
crazy.
school and you'd sell tickets. So you'd be like two guys in because I was one of the guys doing it, young promoter, early age. We'd go to these schools.
young
you sit-
entrepreneur.
Yeah, you sit at the tables and you sell tickets to all these girls' schools, and then roles reverse. When the girls had their dances, they would come into St. Mike's, and you got to remember like two good-looking
We
girls.
honestly
would-
probably met at one of those
We probably
dances.
did.
Maybe because it's different grades too, and they push them all together.
Yeah, so it'd be 9 to 12,
Who
and there's like
knows?
1,000 kids. And when it's a guy's, it's a
A
guy's
1,000
dance,
person. Like, that'd be like a party.
Yeah,
basically,
it's,
dance.
no,
like,
it's massive. So it'd be 1,000 people.
It's
but
lit.
at St. Mike's. At St. Mike's, it'd be 300 guys, 700 girls. But you go to the girl dance, it's like
Wait,
300
wait,
girls,
wait.
600 guys or something.
Sorry. Say that again. So 300 guys at St. Mike's, but 700 girls.
Yeah, because we sold tickets to like 5 different girls' schools.
It was
and
a
then
business.
it was roles reversed for the girl dances.
You're
They would be like,
really trying to get these guys to get married and set up, eh?
man, it'd be great odds.
You know what?
You'd go to
St.
dance-
Mike's was like the dirty dances. Like those were like the dirty boys.
I grinded
that
with
would,
8 girls.
Grind with you, and you like count the end of the night. You have like your tally. You're like, ladies, tonight I grinded with a total of 6.
That is so
It's
funny.
literally exactly how it is.
That's hilarious.
But the grade 12s never went because once you got to grade 12, you were too cool for it. So it's like grade 10, grade 11 was like peak.
And it's all good because you're with
grinding
grade
age.
8s too, right?
Yeah,
So it
grade
feels
8s are
kind of,
different.
or grade 9s.
Grade
even.
7
So
and 8s
it's-
had their own, and then it was 9 to 12.
See, he clearly he remembers.
Rick
This
has
is very
fond memories
impactful
of
for his life.
grinding with girls and holding their hand.
I grinded with 6 girls. Say I got 3 numbers.
What's the
whatever.
most girls you grind with in a night?
Oh, I don't know.
I would get guys MSNs. That was like the cool
Oh,
thing back in
yeah,
the day.
MSNs.
What's
Guys,
your MSN?
Oh man, MSN. What a.
We're going back to like the
No, I like. This is cool.
mid 2000s.
We're getting a little bit.
Do you remember?
history,
Do you remember they didn't have pink? So if you wanted to like change your color to like a pink, it was the fuchsia color.
I have no memory.
I
I
don't remember
think he
that.
was living his best life in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So
I remember. Fun story.
Rick was thriving in the
I'm gonna put
2000s.
myself on blast right now.
Do it.
I remember sending my first topless picture via MSN in grade 9, I think.
Come
Wow.
I came back.
If I could go back in time and change anything, I would go back and stop Ricky from sending that picture because it sets
Yeah.
a bad precedence.
So I went, but I remember we were playing soccer like in my neighborhood. It was like a bunch of us and came back and like we played 6 hours. We had a small little 3-on-3 field and we're sweating, we're gross, whatever. Came in, I'm like, I was topless. I'm like, I look fit. I got abs. I remember taking a picture on like my webcam. And I don't even remember who I sent it to. Holy
The
crap.
whole list.
No, I sent it to one person.
did you ever like put girls'
Wasn't too risky back
names
then.
like on your MSN? Like
Oh,
if
yeah,
you were
Heart.
dating someone, I'd be like Heart Andrew, and then
Mine was
everyone
Angie,
would know.
my first girlfriend.
Wow.
Andrew,
I think
Heart
I-
Angie. Babes Angie _23 was her email. I'll never forget it. And her birthday was May 25th. That's how I screwed up. I was just thinking, why would you pick 23 if your birthday's 25?
Yeah, that's a weird thing.
She
Your
paid-
birthday would always be like you're always in
Yeah,
your thing.
like one of my emails was Lil _Rick. No, that was.
Well, also, why did everyone? Everyone did Lil. Everybody.
Did you ever do Mac Daddy?
No, mine was.
I did Mac
bad.
Daddy.
I think I told you one time, but I can't repeat it on this. It's so embarrassing.
What was yours? Did you have any
It was
embarrassing
like wave pool or something. Like I have no idea.
Wave pool.
legs
1,
for
2,
days?
3. Like,
It's so interesting, like how like people thought of MSN names back in the day. Like they make no sense, most of them. Or it was like either that or it was a super ambitious thing of what you thought about yourself.
Yeah.
Do you remember too that you get those cool characters like? The money sign would be your S's, and then you had like the R's with all the.
Or you do the thing where you would like pretend to log off and log back on, so
Like,
ping
like,
back
bing,
up,
bing, bing,
yeah,
bing,
so
bing,
like- and then no one will still mess you and be like, oh, well, I'm a loser.
that was the ping before BBM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Well, we got
So
sidetracked
how
a
do we
little.
how do we even get to this point?
I don't know.
Oh, school.
Schools?
Right.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So
After Western.
after
Western.
yeah. After no, well, What did you like best about Western? Like, did you enjoy the program, or did you like being there, or did you not like it? Like, what was kind of your university experience?
When I went to Western, I wanted to immerse myself in absolutely everything. So I did everything. My first year, I got involved with a nightlife promotions company.
Which one?
Night School.
Night School. That's Luca Di Donato, isn't it? No, that's grew up.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
And I was the first, this is like my major flex, I was like the first ever girl to work for Night School. Ooh. So I was there when they launched it. I was like the head honcho girl. So I did that first year, had a lot of fun. During my time at Western, I modeled in all of like the fashion shows. I actually ended up running one of the fashion shows.
Which ones did you do?
Fashion and Lifestyle Society.
Okay.
Spur fashion show.
Did you do Kaiza?
No, I didn't do Kaiza. I'm like the dancing. That's where I was like, no. I'm like tall and lanky, and I was like, that's just not going to work out for me.
Hey, self-awareness. I like that.
Yeah. And then I joined a sorority in my third year.
Which sorority?
Pi Phi.
Okay, we were in Lambda Chi.
Yeah.
Which one was Pi Phi?
Nice. The coolest girls.
Pi Phi was
course.
in my going through, like, shout out to all the sororities. You're all great. But yeah, Pi Phi was one of the funner ones to hang out with.
At Western. They're all
At
different
Western.
at different
Yeah.
universities.
Yeah, our sister sorority was AGD. Mm-hmm. They were also great, like great girls. I just really remember the Pi Phi parties for some reason. It was a lot of fun.
To be honest, all the sororities were the same to me. I couldn't remember.
Carmel and Moria were in AO Pi.
AO Pi. Okay, I remember that one.
AO Pi party with SIGs a lot, I think. I don't remember a lot. Anyways, it was a bit of blurry time.
Was Nikki Edmonds in yours?
Not sure.
I think so.
Because
she took you to her. Yeah, she was.
That was the
Because
former
you
I
and John went to that one, I think.
Possibly. I was in like second year, I think.
Yeah.
Got tuned.
How did you feel about being in a sorority?
I loved it. I mean, I joined really late, so I had friends already in the sorority, so it felt easy kind of transitioning into it. It was just a different experience. That's like a once in a lifetime thing. I mean, it's not as big as in the States, but it was still pretty amazing. And I don't regret going to Western. I'm so happy. A lot of people that I work with in television in Toronto went to Ryerson because it was easier to get a job when you're downtown, the location. But I'm really happy I got that university experience.
Yeah. Question to both of you. What did you love the most about being in a frat sorority, and what did you like the least? Because you were in for 4 years. How long?
I'll tell you. I was there for 2 years.
Okay, 2 years ago.
But I dated someone before joining, and he was in a fraternity, so I got that whole feeling of it like before joining.
Can you ask what fraternity he was in?
SIGs.
No. All my friends were in SIGs. He was in Fiji.
Oh,
which one was Fiji?
They were small.
They were
well, I was there, but we were there. Sorry,
they were the smart guys.
Were they?
Oh yeah, but I partied at the SIG house.
I like that. I actually never forget my first time going to a party in the SIG house in the basement. That place is
with
crazy.
Jail
Ben
cell.
Rosenberg.
Pretty nasty.
Yeah, Benny.
what was the
Benny
other guy's name?
That? No,
Golden Gloves.
Golden Gloves. Ben Rosenberg and Kiefer Cowie.
That's it.
He was sick.
They were sick. And then Hollywood Lines.
Yeah,
Mark Kinnon and
shout out to
Giddy.
Mark Kinnon and Giddy.
Yeah, Mark Kinnon listens.
Yeah, shout out to Mark.
Yeah. Okay, so favorite thing and least favorite thing.
Favorite thing was the parties because sororities, fraternities, they would throw these insane parties. I would go to the Sigma Chi house. They would have this like massive blow up thing. They would drop in like a hot tub from a crane for the day. Like it was just insane parties. Yeah. I mean, the thing I didn't like about it was the like commitment to it, and if you get in trouble then you kind of get things taken away from you. It was just very intense in that aspect. Sunday chapter meetings, that was the one thing I didn't like.
Yes, actually I will agree with that. I was just trying to think. I think that both your points about the commitment aspect and kind of like not really say the social pressure, but a little bit, right? Like you have to kind of stay involved. But I did like the party, but I also like the guys that I met that I come out of it with. Like I didn't go back a lot. So once I was very close with everybody through first, second year because I didn't know a lot of people going to Western. I came from from my high school. There's only one guy that I knew personally that went to a Western. My friends went to like Guelph. I wasn't going to Guelph. Hey, you want to ask? Like, last episode they asked like a city like what's his name? Liam said he wouldn't go to Hartford. I won't go to Guelph.
That's it. That's Guelph. Putting Guelph on blast.
I actually went a few times there. Guelph is fine. But anyways, I did like the party obviously, but I like just like the people I met and that I've still kept in touch with all of them. Like even one of our frat brothers, JR. Shout out to JR. Like he was an alumni
of a different chapter.
From a different chapter. But when we were coming up, I was started first year. You came in what year?
Fourth
Fourth year. Man, came in 1 year party.
Came in hot.
But yeah, like our JR would come down for those meetings. So like, even though I didn't really love the meetings, he was always there and he would give us like his wisdom and advice. And it was really interesting. And we're still very close to him to this day. He'll always like message us and like shoot the shit and stuff like that. So anyways, yeah, I guess. But the downside is like, I think the commitment, a lot of stuff, a lot of time and like all
But
that.
you do go through really intense moments with that group of people. And so, you know, when I see my sorority sisters to this day, I'm like, sister, because you went through really intense things that no one can really understand, and that I can't really talk about either.
Yeah.
But
People, so sometimes people ask me still, and they're like I can't remember recently. Someone's like, I told them I was in a frat. They're like, oh, so like, what's like, you know, like the initiation and all that. And I was like, I can't say it. They're like, come on. I was like, no, I can't say. To this day, like
I know, I kind of love it.
Yeah,
how committed everyone is.
Yeah, I'm not bad at keeping secrets. I just don't love to do it. But like for that one, it's just one that I've just like locked away. And like, if anyone asks, I'm like, nope.
Can't tell you. Like,
no one knows. My parents don't know. Nobody knows.
The secret handshake. Everyone asks me. I'm like, I can't tell you.
I know the Sigma Chi secret handshake.
We'll talk about this after time too.
Does anyone ever ask you if you got like paddled?
They asked everything. Did you have to hook up with animals and stuff? Like, no, man. Like, I think this is like that would actually happen in like
the States.
Like that would happen. No kid ever in history would come out and say it. Like, anyways.
No, but to agree with both your points, the thing about
oh no, never mind. It wasn't them. I remember we pranked our sororities back in the day. That was fun. Okay, I gotta tell this story.
Tell it. Go.
Wait, I don't know. Okay, can't tell your story. I don't know.
I was gonna say the thing I love.
I forgot about this though just now that we did a prank. Oh my god.
Are you gonna remember it in a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing I love the most about frats and sororities was the sense of like community, brotherhood, sisterhood, that sense. And I agree. You guys both touched on that because, like George said, we have a fantasy football group with our Lambda Chi brothers that's been going on for a few years, and we're all like 10 years graduated. Some of them are even more. Like our buddy JR got married this past summer. We went to the wedding in London, 2 summers ago now. And so many brothers were there. And it's just nice to connect and you pick up right where you left off. It's not like they're a stranger anymore. Where someone that you might have been boys with back at Western or girls with back at Western, you're not that close with anymore. Everyone's just brotherhood. You pick right back up.
Yeah.
The thing I hated, you guys both touched upon it on different sides. The commitment on the Sunday meetings, hated that. I hated the parties because they were on Tuesdays.
Oh, I love
all the sorority parties were on Tuesdays and frat parties were Tuesdays.
You soft,
and
bro?
I got paid to party Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I didn't want to go out on a Tuesday, so I missed half of them.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Monday,
So
Tuesday, Saturday. It's all the same at
Yeah, they should have
Western.
been like Fridays or Saturdays. I'm like, oh, we can't do that. Blah blah blah.
I thought that in like first and second year. By fourth year, I was like, someone's like, you want to go get tequila on like a Monday night?
Monday,
yeah.
Molly Blooms. Molly
No,
Blooms
I would go to-
Mondays?
No,
Jack's.
dollar beers at Jack's.
Yeah,
That was the
shout out
thing
to
on
Ollie.
Mondays.
Yeah.
Ollie
dollar
started
beers.
that. Ollie and what was the guy, the Lambda Chi guy?
Christian.
Christian, yeah.
One of our frat brothers is the owner of.
And then I remember Ollie started Mondays to compete with JBRs, and they did dollar beers.
I read the funniest tweet I think I've ever read in my life. Sorry,
You preface this nice, man. No,
So yesterday I'm on Instagram and I saw someone screenshotted a tweet and says, if you've ever done Jaeger bombs, the back bar of Jim Bob's, don't worry about what's in the vaccine. You're fine. Or something
true.
like that. And I was like, I looked at them. I started laughing because I can remember like doing Jaeger bombs and everything's just so like, oh,
$2
man.
Jaeger bombs, you get like 100.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can still taste that.
Tell your funny story.
So when we were, I think it was second year. So this is young George being a prankster. Don't do stuff now, but our AGD, our sister sorority, pranked us. They did something. They toilet papered our house, or like I can't remember exactly what it was. Something like not crazy, but I was like, all right, we got to get these guys. Oh no, I was in first year because I was still rushing, and like I was still what's it? Whatever the word is.
Pledge.
Yeah, but we don't use pledge for Lambda Chi. I can't remember. Anyways, so I'm like, we gotta give him back. I'm like, we're not standing for this. I was like, I gotta make a statement, and then whatever. So I like kind of led the charge with all like the new guys, and we went to go like check their house out. So like, okay, let's go see what we can do. Let's kind of see if there's any opportunities here. So we realized one of the basement windows opens from like it wasn't locked. So okay, so we're leaving there. I'm thinking like, what can we do? I was like, I got an idea. We're in London. There's got to be some farms around here. So I went on Kijiji and found an ad for live chickens. Like big chickens, not little chickens. We bought 3. I think we bought 2 or 3 chickens. Got them in a cage for like $20 each or something. Went back at night and let them in their basement. So they were running around all day. We give them like bird feed and everything, so they would poop all over the house. And the girls said they woke up in the morning. There's like a chicken in like the living room and another one like downstairs. And they freaked out. They know how to get them out. They're chasing chickens around the house.
That's a very good prank.
Yeah,
That's pretty
I was
good.
very proud of it. I forgot about it till literally just now.
That's a good one.
Prankster.
George, I'm gonna snip this so you can post that.
Thanks,
one.
man.
Maybe on like the close friends list or something. That's a good
Prankster.
one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I couldn't. I forgot about that. I think there was a few more. Not me, but like the thing. But anyways.
What's your biggest memory from Western?
I honestly think running a fashion show in my third year, that was huge for me.
Yeah.
I ran everything from like our sponsorship team to like the models to the clothing, the stylists, everything. Yeah.
Foreshadowing your career.
Totally.
Yeah.
For sure.
How was it? Like very overwhelming, or were you comfortable doing it? Like, were you?
It was half and half. I mean, it was so stressful, but like I thrive on stress and being busy, and it was something creative too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the toughest part about running it? Like,
coordinating all the parts.
Yeah.
And seeing it all come together on the day of, and it's like, where's this person missing? Where's the shoe? Where's
Yeah. How big was this fashion show? Was it like, and was it on campus or was it off?
It was off campus.
Okay.
Maybe like 50 people.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for
Working
you.
parts and 100 people attending, and yeah.
So that's kind of your first. That's like a producing, right? You're
Producer,
putting,
yeah.
yeah. So that's kind of your first.
Yeah.
Was that your first like foray into production, like on that scale? And
Yeah, for sure. So my mom is a conference and event planner. So I grew up helping her with her events and learning from her. So I've always loved hosting and throwing parties on a small scale. And so, you know, putting everything together, it's kind of been in my blood and since I've grown up.
I'm gonna keep going there. So
Sure.
after that big event, did you do anything special in fourth year?
I did. So through my program, after third year that summer, I interned. Got an internship through the program at Cityline. So I worked there for the summer, and then through them, I worked with TIFF through Entertainment City. So I thought I wanted to go more into like movies, and then this internship kind of got brought up, and I thought it was interesting. And that opened the door for me when I came back in my fourth year. A buddy of mine, he had interned at eTalk at the time, and like celebrities, entertainment's always been my passion. And we actually started our own entertainment website. So it was called Pop and Press.
I like that. Pop and Press.
Pop and Press. And we had, 10 volunteer student writers. We had like an Instagram account. We had a website with daily articles. And that actually helped me get my job at ET Canada.
Is it still around, the website?
No, we got rid of it. We got rid of it a few years ago.
wait, how'd you get rid of it? Just they didn't need it anymore?
No,
or
you got your job from it. That's it. It played its part.
Yeah. So I'm a big believer in like, things don't always just kind of come to you. You have to create your own job to get the kind of job you want in the end, right?
Very
I like
true.
that. Yeah, it is true. You have to go out and do something, because think about how
Yeah.
many people from your program, same age, same year, a little bit of work experience, or we're applying to like eTalk.
I'm one of the only ones who actually works in TV to this day in my program. A lot of people went into marketing or something completely different. It's a really hard industry to get into, and I got my job at ET 6 months out of school with literally no experience.
Wow.
You got a sick
What was
website.
that first day like going in there? Did you kind of feel like, are you the kind of person that walks in like you already feel like you belong, or like you kind of own the place, or were you a little nervous? And
I was absolutely petrified.
Okay.
I was literally like sweating and like shaking, and I was like, oh my God, I hope people like me. But working with creatives, everyone's become like a family to me now, and everyone was so welcoming. So it just felt really easy walking in there.
So you've been there now for 5 years?
5 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, as of January.
So where'd you start? What was your, position when you started?
For the first month, they started so they took a full chance on me. So like when I had my website, my friend and I, we'd drive into the city like every other weekend, and we would cover Toronto Fashion Week. We would interview like local celebrities just to kind of build up my resume, my experience. And then I applied for the job 6 months out of school, and sorry, what was your question again? I was like,
Where'd you start? Now. So when you started at eTalk, where'd you start?
Oh, I was a freelance writer for the first month, and then after the first month, I got promoted to a producer.
So you've been producer for 4.5 years now.
Yeah, longer than that.
Normally, like from that short of a time?
No.
Must have been a sick ass website. That's what I'm just thinking. How the hell did you go? Did you do
That's
this?
crazy. Like to go, because like, but what's like? Don't people go like to like a junior producer role? Like even like,
So
So
you know, like,
in
do you-
Canada, we don't have at a lot of entertainment companies. We don't. It's like the States. They have so many different producer roles: associate producer, then producer, executive.
Got it.
In Canada, it's mainly just producer, and then we have senior producers, and you have the executive producer of the show.
Got it. Okay. So that's still pretty impressive to jump in and like get a job. as a
Yeah,
freelance
so
writer.
I was there and I was working way past my hours just to kind of absorb everything and make sure I was doing a good job.
Yeah.
And I was going like above and beyond. Yeah.
What's the first show you produced?
The first show has been Entertainment Tonight, Canada.
So that's what you were part of that right from day one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm a digital producer, so I specialize in everything digital. So I will all my interviews, everything I write, it goes to our website. Some things do go to the show on broadcast, but it goes to like social media in particular.
Wow.
Yeah. And so now I run their Instagram account as well.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna double tap everything I see now, just 'cause I know it's you.
Yeah.
Got you.
What's something that kind of like surprised you day one walking in that like you didn't expect to anticipate? Whether it's the people or the job or anything.
I mean, people think it's so glamorous. And when I post my job, I'm going to post the glamour sides, the red carpets, the traveling, the celebrities. But a lot of people don't realize how much like desk work there is and how much behind the scenes just like getting it done. I think a lot of people don't think of that when they think of entertainment television.
Yeah. What are the hours like? Is it
Whatever.
No. I was gonna ask, like,
Yeah.
is it go based on like event scheduling, or is it like super early mornings, late nights, or is it like long days? Like, what's
Could
the
be
schedule?
anything. You have to be super flexible. So I work 9 to 5, but you know, if there's an award show, I'm going to be working late that night. If there's a weekend event, I could be working that too. Last year I flew to London, England for 3 nights to cover a Game of Thrones red carpet. Like, it's just, you have to be totally open.
That's
So
sick.
George isn't a Game of Thrones watcher, but you obviously you know how big it is.
For sure.
I'm a big Game of Thrones fan.
Are
I'm like
you?
the only one in the office. Like, we're going to fly you there. And I was like, yes.
What'd you think about the finale without ruining it?
I mean, it's like everyone else. I was disappointed.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
we're on the same page. But okay, what was the red carpet event like for Game of Thrones?
Oh, it was amazing. It was one of their last ones. They had a special coming out where the cast came back together and did like a panel discussion. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Sorry, this was last year, you said?
This
No.
was last November.
So a year ago.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Wow. Crazy.
Is that when the finale was? Last year, or was it after?
Before then, I think.
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
We did, so I'm not into Game of Thrones. Actually, my sister and her husband just like binged it, I think early on in the lockdown.
Early COVID?
Yeah, I think she really liked it. Everyone's told me to get into it. I just don't have the time.
Me and Georgie did the Game of Thrones
That's
tour.
what I was going to get to.
Were
Yeah.
you?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Where?
So we were me and George did Dubrovnik.
I did 2 different ones.
So-
I did Dubrovnik. I'm crazy.
Okay.
I love Game of Thrones. I'm a big fantasy girl.
Okay.
Yeah, we were in
Yeah.
Dubrovnik.
Sorry. Before that,
And I did Belfast
That's
too.
what you went to
Sorry, Belfast? Belfast, yeah.
Ireland. All right. Yeah.
Ireland,
Ireland. Yeah.
Yeah, Northern Ireland, yeah.
Which one was better?
I mean, Dubrovnik in Croatia, like, it's such a cool, magical place with all the limestone and yeah.
You feel like you're in King's Landing, like
Yes.
really in it.
Yeah,
Is that what it feels like? Really?
cool.
Like I liked the tour. I thought it was cool. I just never really like.
Yeah,
This is
'cause-
where this is a shot. I was like,
And you're
sweet.
like, yeah, I don't care.
I'm
because
looking out. It's like a courtyard.
You don't know
Yeah.
the significance of that scene.
Yeah,
right?
the one the stairs or whatever.
So we did the. Do you know when the Queen?
Did they hold up the photos and show you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I took a picture right where I forgot the Queen Cersei, where she's getting all the tomatoes and fruit and everything thrown at her when she's doing the walk of shame, and she does it up to the Red Keep or whatever it's called, those staircase, and then there's a picture
Right.
of her just like looking over, and the lady shows us like, yeah, they had to pay each window 200 euros to keep their
I
windows
remember
closed for
that.
that
Yeah.
day.
Might be probably the same tour guide.
Probably. And she was like some background actress. She
That's
shows you the
she was
picture
an
of her and
extra?
Cersei. Yeah.
It was probably the same
girl.
person.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe
it
the same
was.
person.
Yeah, so we did that, and I have a picture literally
She
like
said she was in the shame scene where she yelled shame.
I think
when
ours
Cersei
was
had to
supposed
walk
to be a body
naked.
double for Cersei or something.
Was she?
When she was walking naked through, she was going to be, and then Cersei decided
yeah,
to do
yeah,
it or
yeah.
something.
Was that? I think so.
Something like that.
Have
That's
you-
crazy.
Did you go to Booza Bar when you were in Dubrovnik? The bar that's on the cliff outside the wall.
No, I don't think so.
You have to like. It's where you. So
I
the
went
stair.
in at a bar inside of the wall.
Okay.
Revlin?
I don't remember.
Was it inside the
names.
castle?
Yes.
Like a club.
Yes, a
Okay, I
club.
didn't go.
Yeah, not a
Ricky
bar,
went.
club.
So-
Rick went by himself.
I went by myself that night, and I don't know if I told this on the podcast.
I
And there's
really
like
liked
fire dancers.
yeah,
and,
Revel,
yeah.
100%. So me and George, I love Dubrovnik, one of my favorite.
I actually really, I've been thinking it was a lot lately. So I have a love-hate relationship with Croatia, especially Hvar.
tell the whole
I
Croatia
love
story.
Hvar.
Okay,
Did you
I'll-
go to that
yeah.
club on the
So-
island?
So yeah, Hvar's yeah, and then the island's Carpe Diem.
Yeah.
So we went the first time. Me, John, me, Ricky, his brother John, and a friend of ours. We went to just to Hvar. Just to Hvar. We didn't go to anywhere else. Split. But for a day, we went to Hvar. First time there, and I thought it was like awesome. Has like just very chill, younger vibe, kind of like backpacker ish, but. And it was a lot of fun. Like we went out to the bars, we did hula hula, we went to like Carpe Diem, did all that stuff. It was great. So I liked it. Rick really liked it. So then
That was 15, I think, and then or 16.
2017.
Yeah.
Yes. 2018? 2017. Whatever. We went back. Ricky and I. But this time we were going to do Dubrovnik and then go to Hvar and Split. And so the reason I asked Booze the Bar, it's really cool, is like it's outside the walls and it's like literally built on a cliff. And it looks very shoddy. Like it doesn't look like a nice thing. It looks like somebody just built something and they serve like beers and stuff. And anyways, one of the nicest bars I think in the world because that's a very cool feel. It's very like, you feel like you're in a castle. And people go cliff jumping. And I've told this before, but on the podcast, so people probably know, but I was jumping off and it's really high.
You know what? I was there and I watched the sunset. I remember that, and people were jumping
Yes,
off.
yes,
so,
exactly.
yeah,
But
that's it.
it's not like that sketchy. Like, it's beautiful.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it is. It's nice, but it's like it almost like it's not. I guess like what Revlin. I've seen videos of Revlin. It's not like a. It's not
It's
nice.
not like a real, yeah.
It's like you watch the sunset, have a cocktail, and
Exactly.
you go swimming with your friends.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. So we were jumping. So I'm like, I could do this, and I looked down. It was pretty high, but I was like, oh, whatever. I can go. It's honestly probably as high as like the building to the first, second story here. Probably
it was
that high.
about 50 feet.
So I went like
give or
once, twice, and I was like, it's fine. I'm like, I'm good. Rick went. You went once, I think.
Yeah, I went once.
And so we're drinking, and I'm still sitting there. I'm watching people like be like kind of scared. I'm like, look at these chickens. I'm like, I had a couple more drinks. I'm like, all right, let me show them. Then I go up, and I'm like, watch out, guys. And I go and run and jump off. And when I hit the water, like I landed normally, but I guess the water rushed in and blew up my eardrum. So like my eardrum like popped, and I couldn't. I thought I was gonna drown. First of all, I get out, and then I couldn't stand because your equilibrium's like in your ear, so I was like wobbling, and it was one of the worst pains. It felt like someone stabbed me in the neck because your thing goes like down here. Anyways,
So you come out, you're bleeding. Like, guys, I'm fine.
no, I honestly, I could like Rick's like, yo, right? You don't look okay. I was like, dude, I can barely stand.
And we were a couple drinks deep too, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking this guy's just being like a baby, right? You know, okay, suck it up, man. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
So we end up leaving, and
I don't remember when we were leaving, and I just stayed in, and you went to Revlin by
yeah, so
yourself.
he stayed, and I went out to Revlin. And I had like a crazy.
You're like, bye, bro. Have a good night.
Yeah. Oh, he's like, you're gonna get that, right? I'm like, no. He's like,
No, he's like,
oh,
I was
fair.
like, man, just come out. He's like, no, I can't. My ear's killing. I'm like, okay. So I went like,
I'm
grabbed him,
sorry,
like,
just so that people understand how like I wasn't being a baby. I slept with my head off the bed because that's what I googled, and I woke up in the morning and there was a puddle of water. My ear just
falling
slowly
out.
like dripping water out.
Yeah.
It was kind of gnarly, but yeah.
So I went out. I had a crazy night. The next day, we were going to Hvar. You want to carry on, or you want me to tell this part?
You can tell the story, but yeah.
So
it's
we
not a
went-
super long one.
No.
It ended. It was pretty.
So
it was
we
like
went to
shit time.
Hvar. Our second day there, we stayed. We lived. We had an Airbnb above this little restaurant, cute little restaurant. They had this really good pasta. It was like a mushroom pasta or something. So we ate that.
What an irrelevant detail.
Well, no, because
That's not what got it.
it could potentially. But then
I
we
don't
went
know.
to
Hula
we
Hula.
went to Hula Hula, and we had a little table. We ordered some food, and we got this food platter. It had a bunch of different
Snack
meats.
platter.
Yeah, snack platter. It had some meats. It had some charcuterie. A whole bunch of stuff.
It was like looked like almost like microwaved food kind.
Yeah.
Did you
but
get
whatever.
sick?
So we had a crazy day. Like,
was a
you know, we
blast,
had a
yeah.
couple drinks. We had such a fun day. We met these.
And just
like,
me and you, we like got a booth and everything.
Yeah, and we had
drank.
these like some big drinks. Whatever. Good, great time. We wake up in the morning, and we're both like literally dying from food poisoning.
pretty much just like stuck on the
So we didn't leave. We didn't leave our Airbnb for 2 days out of our
Wow.
4 day.
24 hours for sure. And then we left to go to get like
Get,
baby
like-
wipes and like add like Pepto-Bismol and stuff.
because we were dying. So then we actually left our last night there. We were there for maybe 5 nights. So last night there, we went out and we had a good night because we were stuck for 2 days. We had to make up for these 2 days that we missed. We went out. We had a crazy night. Came back. George had a couple drinks.
I can never drink Aperol spritzes again. I haven't since that day. I was like, I blacked out like for like how many hours? I don't know, 18 hours maybe or something.
Yeah.
So did you make it to Carpe Diem?
Not that time. Did you go?
I went. Yeah.
That when I passed out.
The day that
so he
you
basically went out like all these nights of Croatia
Without
by
you.
himself.
by myself. Because George's like, man,
And when I am like either sick, tired, hungover, I'm like, I don't care. I'm not gonna miss anything. I'm like, I'm good. I'll stay here.
Yeah.
I won't suck it up and go. I just don't even care.
Yeah, so I went out by myself, and I had a good night to get back, and George literally was dead for about 18 hours.
Yeah.
And there's videos of me just like
But
taking
the,
him like, is this
that
guy
was
even
where I
alive?
was having them at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And just anyways.
We had a while.
And anyways, enough about us. What I actually wanted to ask was because you mentioned you had been to Belfast as well. Have you traveled? Like, there's a lot of places you traveled to through Europe, and you were that
Everywhere.
Yeah?
So pre-pandemic, I was traveling every 2-3 weeks.
Just for leisure,
work,
for work?
and for fun.
wow.
Yeah,
You added a couple extra days to the end of every work trip,
for
right?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Way
have
to
you been
go.
traveling? Like, at what point did you start traveling for work? Would they start sending you like places? Was it like right when you got into the role, or did it?
Yeah, pretty much right when I started.
Wow.
Yep.
Of all the places you've been for work, not personal work, where's the best one? Was it?
London was amazing.
Yeah.
I was actually, usually you go with a team, and I was like alone.
Wow.
But I have a lot of friends in London, so I was having like breakfast, lunch, dinner with different people, and just like having the best, craziest time. I literally got off the plane and went straight somewhere. Like, it was so fun.
Soho House.
I picture that's the thing. Like because you're like a
So- all
producer.
the
Like, sorry,
Soho
I don't mean to,
houses.
like, I don't know why I did that. You're a producer. Like, but like it feels like what you'd envision, like someone a producer in a movie, just like go nonstop. Must have been really cool.
For sure. And I mean, one of my favorite places is Los Angeles, because that's where they have the biggest award shows, the biggest red carpets. You see the celebrities, you're immersed in it, and it's so fun.
Yeah. And speaking of which, Rick, great segue there. No, but
We're on
That's
track
only
here.
like a fourth of it that you
yeah, I
brought
know
over.
the rest are behind the camera. Would have covered the whole table. So
I don't
LA.
even know which one to start with, actually.
Yeah, actually, no. I wanted to ask too. Like, so, I wanted before we jump to this, I want to ask, where's your favorite place you've been, not work related, like personal trip?
Japan.
Sick.
Yeah,
It's one of my
I was
favorites.
13, so
Wow.
I need to go back. Yeah, my parents let me traveling like when I'm very, very young.
Did your parents take you like when you
Everywhere.
everywhere? That's like
Yeah.
I'm very, very grateful for it. Like my parents. I honestly I haven't run the numbers, but I think I'm 30, and I think from when we were kids, they went on one vacation without me and my siblings.
Yeah.
Like they would, and like even to the point where like I'm like, how do you guys put up with us when we were kids? Like but it took us everywhere, like, and got to see all these cool places. But Japan, I think Rick and I went with our families in 2018.
Yeah, for your birthday.
I think it's one of the coolest places
It's
in the
so
world.
cool. They're so ahead of us in so many ways.
Yeah. If you can go back, I can give recommendations, but it is like it's crazy. It honestly doesn't feel like you're on planet Earth. Like, it feels like a different place entirely. Like, I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah.
Really liked it.
I'm going to switch over here to the Emmys, the Screen Actors Guild Awards. Let's hear some fun stories from that. Like, what's it like to be at the Emmys? The Emmys is arguably the biggest show for TV.
Yeah, I mean, when I was there September, and it was so hot that day, and you're wearing like a full gown, and you're like, whew. Yeah, no, it's just the Emmys were, I think, one of my favorite red carpets that I did. It was a massive purple carpet. I watch a lot of TV shows, so I recognize a lot of people. I'm standing there, and you have Kendall Jenner and Kim Kardashian walking by. It's pretty cool.
Are you just like play cool?
Yeah, because for me, it's my job, and like I interview celebrities for a living. I produce my hosts who interview celebrities. I need to be on point all the time, and they're just people.
Yeah.
Right. So I never fangirl over anyone.
I was gonna say you don't ever get
There's only one person I fangirled over. I wasn't working at the time, but I was in Barbados my birthday last August with Rihanna, partying with her. So I had a fangirl moment.
Wait, let's hear the
Shut
story.
up.
I got invited by the tourism office to go down there for Crop Over. Do you know what that is?
No.
Is that like a big festival?
It's like Caribana in Toronto. Crop Over is huge there. It happens first
Sorry, what do you
weekend
mean you
of
got invited? Is
August.
this for kind of like fashion lifestyle?
This is for my personally my
Personal brand.
blog.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I went down there. I interviewed Rihanna's brother. We had to get Rory Fenty. We had to get totally like dressed up in like feathers and like little tiny like bedazzle. Like it was just, and it was crazy. It was wild. Then we went to a party. So it's like a 4-day affair, and there's like all these different events that you have to go to. And one of the events, the party starts at midnight, goes till 8 a.m. It's a paint party, and people can just tell like she's not from here, so everyone's attacking me with paint. It was insane. It's pretty crazy.
Actually, I think I know someone who's been to it. I think I've seen.
It's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
And they do an all day parade on the last day. So everyone's in their outfits. It's called your band. So I was in Rihanna's band. So you all wear a similar kind of costume. So it's like red feathers, and you're just drinking and dancing and yeah.
I feel like Rihanna's like the Drake of Barbados. You know,
yes,
that's her home.
she is the queen.
Sure.
She is the queen there, and that's where she's
I would
happiest.
argue she's bigger than Drake into Canada. Like Rihanna can probably do whatever she wants on that island. Drake can't just go willingly do whatever he wants in the city.
I mean,
Like
Maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like John Tory gave him the key or something.
the key to the city.
Yeah, did
Yeah,
he do
I
something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. But so what was it like partying with Rihanna? That's gotta be pretty crazy, no?
It's pretty amazing.
Is it Rihanna or Rihanna?
Rihanna, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty fun because she's with her family and her best friends that she's known since childhood. So it was just like a really good time.
I feel like there's more to the story. We'll ask off air.
We'll ask off air. That's it.
Is there anyone that you interviewed that maybe it's not a good question that you I'll ask it anyways. Is there anyone that you interviewed that was kind of like standoffish or not just very not really warm or nice?
I've been very lucky. Everyone I've interviewed has been absolutely wonderful. And even if you think someone's maybe like not the nicest, like people have really surprised me. Yes, there's people, I'm not going to name names, who I've like really looked up to, and who are huge on social media and I meet and it's just a disappointment. Kind of puts a bad taste in your mouth. But you know, maybe they're having an off day. So you kind of have to take that into consideration. But I hear enough stories about some people that I'm kind of like, okay, I don't think they're the nicest person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Is there on the flip side, is there somebody that you thought might be like a little bit, maybe not rude, but just that has a colder personality that was really nice when you met?
Yeah. So I love Nicole Kidman. Like, did you guys watch The Undoing?
No. I've been
You
hearing
have
what
to
like
watch
crazy.
The
Just
Undoing.
talked about it today. Moretti,
Everyone's
one of
talking
our
about
buddies
it.
was just
Is
on
it
it.
really good?
It's very good. She is like Hollywood glam to me. She is Hollywood to me. And so I was working the red carpet at the Screen Actors Guild Awards in Los Angeles, and she was behind the scenes, and she came and she had the flu, and you'd think someone who's been in so many movies, you think she'd be kind of rude and wouldn't care, and she had the flu and she said hi to everyone. She made sure to ask for your name. Like it was really amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just put her best foot forward and you would never like just didn't
And
let
she
it
was
get-
so sick with the flu.
just like a professional basically.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
That is cool. Who are some other ones that you really liked?
I've interviewed like Margot Robbie.
I would like that one.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
So I one of my favorite people to interview is 50 Shades of Grey star Jamie Dornan. He's from Northern Ireland. He's very good looking.
Yeah, very good looking.
Every TIFF I go for his interview. I'm like, this is mine.
I got this.
So now when I'm on the red carpet, he kind of like, I like to think this happens anyways, that he kind of like bypasses everyone, comes straight to me, and we have our moment. And yeah, it's great.
That's nice.
Then you get married and live happily ever
I
after.
mean, he's married with 3 kids. So that's not
Oh,
gonna
that's
happen.
Wait, do you have a celebrity crush? Like
No.
somebody
That's a good question.
no one like
I don't think so. Like, I just don't really. I don't know. I don't really think about it.
wow. Even when you were a kid, you never thought like saw someone in a movie and like, wow, he's good looking.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I do have a celebrity crush, and that is Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah,
Fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
George, who's yours?
I don't Jennifer Aniston maybe when I was a kid.
Yeah.
She looks like
I
she
feel like
never
every guy
ages.
says that.
Yeah. She's also Greek. So I'm like, oh.
I didn't know
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston was Greek.
Yeah. Her dad's a Greek immigrant. I remember seeing her. I was like, wow, this lady looks the same. Like, I mean, you can tell she got older, but like,
Yeah. Leo
age.
came to the Toronto International Film Festival last year, and I absolutely died.
did you get a
No,
chance
I didn't get to talk to
Oh.
him, but someone else in our team, and I was like, oh.
Have you actually have a question? Have you ever interviewed Jason Bateman by chance or come across him anywhere?
Jason Bateman. No, I haven't met him before.
That's kind of random.
It was on Saturday Night
Why
Live the
Jason
other night.
Bateman?
I don't know. I saw it was on Saturday Night Live, and I've been
It was
thinking
very
this
specific.
very specific. No, sorry. I don't know how I even got to that point because I just lately, he keeps popping up, and I think he's a sick actor, and he's like grew up as a child star he grew up in LA, child star. I think he was in the same circles kind of as Leo. I don't even know how I got to that point, but
I love it.
I think he's cool. I would have liked to hear a story. I don't know, whatever. don't mind me.
Hey, I love it. Well, you know what? My celebrity crush is Dua Lipa. If anybody's
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
She is beautiful.
Love her. Have you ever interviewed her?
No, I haven't met Dua Lipa.
We're just throwing out names. Have you interviewed this person?
She did do either iHeartRadio or Jingle Ball. She did one of those shows because I remember seeing her.
She probably did Jingle Ball.
She did Jingle Ball. What's that like?
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
It's festive.
So, tell me about this one. No, what's one that you weren't crazy about? Is there an event that you've been to, or
that I wasn't crazy about? I don't want to say.
Okay, say why though. Why was it just underwhelming? Poorly organized.
I really want to know. I feel like we're gonna remember to ask that one after.
For me, there's some events locally in Toronto that just don't compare to events internationally.
Yeah,
that's something, but we can't help it. You know what I mean? Comparing Toronto to Los Angeles, like it's a huge difference. Yeah. But I've covered the MMVAs, Juno Awards, and there's so much Canadian talent celebrated, and it feels really fun because it's like you see people that you know from your city, and it's just like good vibes. Yeah.
GVO, good vibes only.
Sure.
Say sure.
I probably don't answer this, but what's your dream show to go to?
To go to?
Or to work or go to?
Oh, like award show?
Yeah, award show.
The Oscars.
Okay.
Yeah, Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's hard because this year with the pandemic, like everything's changed, everything's virtual, and now instead of getting dressed up and like going to LA, I'm in pajamas or like sweatpants, sitting on my couch with my laptop, like, okay, let's do this, guys. You know.
Are you so? Well, would that mean then that your role as the digital lead,
digital producer and Instagram lead?
Has it gone busier this year because now so much more has moved to digital?
Yes. So because we don't have as many in-person movie premieres, a lot of celebrities are at home and they have the time to promote their music, TV shows, movies, and we're actually doing a lot more virtual interviews on like Zoom and Skype than we were before, and I think a lot more celebrities too.
How do you like doing those?
I love it.
Obviously.
Wow.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
We're the opposite. We like, which, you know, in hindsight, we really should probably reach out. We probably lost a window of people we could have gone on.
Well, we also got a lot of people that we would have never had too, right?
Here's interesting, right? Because you've obviously done a lot of interviews, but like the dynamic feels different. It's very hard to like read the room, I guess, and even kind of shift the conversation. That's what we found, at least when we were interviewing.
Yeah, and then sometimes we had like internet glitches and stuff. I had a couple. George had some.
The best one.
Oh, it's not the same because you're like, can you hear me? Hello, you got that, and you don't get their little in-person mannerisms where you can play off that, and
it feels more. Again, it feels more structured, like more not structured, but more formal.
For sure.
Like you can't kind of joke and pull something out, and I remember once Ricky, we did one of the first ones we did on. I was on Skype. We used and. Who was it with again?
Brad Smith.
Brad Smith.
You know Brad Smith?
He's a good friend of mine, yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So, funny story, when I was an intern at Cityline, Brad was the host of Entertainment City.
Oh, wow.
So we became good friends.
I don't think we need that. Did we talk about that with him?
Yeah, he's interviewed a lot of celebrities after he was The Bachelor in Canada.
Yeah. So I think we did talk a little bit about it. So that's the thing too. So we had him over Skype, and it was also in our early days. We were not very good at interviewing, I guess, or talking to people as much. Yeah. But talking, whatever, you know what I meant. But we did it through Skype, and Ricky was at, I guess, at your parents' house.
At my parents' house.
And the connection kept cutting and freezing. So the best was once, like, I think that he knew that it kept cutting. So once he made a joke, then it kept happening, and I guess he's he knows what he's doing, so he didn't bring it up again. But once Ricky asked something, came back, heard the back end of it, and then like laughed like he heard the whole thing or something, just to make it not awkward.
It was terrible.
It was
I
bad.
asked the question, and it cuts out. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
bad.
So then I'd go on my
person.
phone. I would go on my phone and like do it from like cellular data because the Wi-Fi was so bad. And it's like, they come back like try and make it smooth. Ha 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 ha. It's like, man,
It's
I saw
not
you
the
frozen
same.
for 8 minutes. Like,
It's so funny.
There's something to be said about being in person with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, like we have the space too, and it's such an inviting, fun space that we want to get people in. So we do our best to, you know, try and do as many in person as we still can. Obviously, given the circumstances, some of them are a little difficult to do, but overall, we've been very fortunate.
Yeah.
You know, we've had a lot of people that we wanted to get on. We've had to get on. We've had so many amazing conversations. Like you said, there's some people that blew our minds that we sit down with, like, holy crap, like that was crazy. That was such a fun conversation. So, that is,
You know what was actually cool? One person that made doing the over the Skype really easy was Cabral Richards, Cabby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was so like, he even had the mic set up and he was like, "Can you guys hear me okay?" And then at the end, he's like, "You know, if we want to redo this or anything, we could do it." I was
he's
like,
a, he's a professional.
he was so like, that's the
And
thing
he
too.
said that.
And he was like, we were really like wanted to find out about him because I grew up watching him like on how he got his start too. He was like he hustled his way up, but he was just so nice, and he would like flip it on us. I'm like, this guy, like this dynamic works, but not everyone's like that over the
it's
Zoom.
different.
Right,
It's
and
different
everything.
over Zoom.
Yeah.
What's who's like one of your idols growing up?
One of my idols.
Like we say, like George, like I grew up the same way as you, George. Like I looked up to Cabby. You know, Cabby on the Streets, like was one of my favorite TV like little segments.
Yeah,
right?
he really changed. I think
And when I was young too, I wanted to be a media personality.
Yeah. I always looked
I think
towards
you still
like
do,
Jeannie
buddy.
Becker, like fashion television.
Jeannie Becker.
Jeannie
Why
Becker.
do I
She
know
was
that
the
name?
face of fashion television back in the day.
gotta look
And
this
she
up.
would go to every single fashion week around the world. She was like Toronto and Canada's like fashion person. I actually, you know, I grew up watching Much Music. That was like a huge thing for me. And
Do you remember? Sorry to interrupt. Do you remember those Friday night shows they used to have? Much Music Circus.
Yeah.
What was it called? Do you remember those? And they would have the party at Much Music, and
I
there'd
think
be
I know
people
what you're talking
dancing in the windows.
Yeah.
Remember those?
So I grew up watching like Rick Campanelli. And
Yes.
so when I started ET, like he was working there. Yeah, it's pretty
gotta be an
cool
interesting
how
thing,
full
eh? Like-
circle that comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be, even not weird, but it's got to be kind of cool. Like, you see them like behind the television for so long, and
Yeah.
then when you kind of get there,
They're ordinary people.
do they feel that? Like, does it feel the same, or is it kind of you have to like kind of adjust to like how you see them, or is it just
No, because like for someone like Rick, he's literally the sweetest person. He remembers every single intern's name.
Wow.
He meets me the first day, the second day. He's like, "Hey, Kat, like, what's up?" Like, you know, you feel like family easily.
wow?
And then, you know, I grew up watching like Matt Babel, and next thing I know, like I'm his producer for ET. He was our LA correspondent for a while. So
Wow.
it's like I'm working so close with him, and like, you know, he's with Shay Mitchell, so I'm around her. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Is there a connection between Much Music and ET?
No, different networks.
But I feel like a lot of people
They're
from
the same
Much-
building. Are they same building down
No,
there?
it's E-Talk. So Much
Ah.
Music, yes.
But I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people go from Much to ET, don't they? Or maybe
Much to E-Talk.
Much to ET.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah,
I guess
I
it's
mean,
like a natural step once you get to a certain age. You're,
yeah, like the entertainment industry in Canada is very small, and so like we're all friends. I have really close friends at E-Talk, you know, different TV shows, so we all kind of mix around.
When you say small comparatively, is it just because like naturally, like let's say the U.S. bigger population, so more options, or is it just even like the networks that are bigger, the
Networks.
departments?
We have less networks here, less competitors. There's a lot more competition in the States. We don't have that in Canada.
Well, it's got to be pretty good then, though.
Yeah, but it's
You're-
healthy to have competition too.
Yeah,
That is very true.
that's true. But think about when you're doing these interviews, let's say in LA or something for one of these major award shows, knowing that you're one of 3 Canadian.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, right. It's got because they remember you.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, you see Canadian actors like, you know, at the Emmys, we saw Dan and Eugene Levy from like Schitt's Creek, and they're like, Canada, like, we love Canada. So they come, they talk
Yeah.
to us. Yeah, it's nice.
That's
They're
really cool.
massive. They just cleaned up. At
I've
the
never
end.
seen that show still.
I've seen. A
Oh,
couple
you need
episodes
to
here and
watch
there.
it.
I've heard it's
so,
amazing.
I watched the entire thing. It's so good.
Really? See,
Yeah.
like, there's so many. I'm like bad at I watch the same shows over and over. And
The
over.
Office.
The Office. You know? Oh, terrible fact. Office leaves Netflix January.
4th. Yeah.
That is a sad RIP. That show got me through university, and I still watch it every day, every episode.
It's good.
Anyways.
Were you working the Emmys this year?
The Emmys this year.
The Emmys
The
have
one
this year?
didn't they do virtually? And that's the one where Schitt's Creek cleaned up.
From
Oh,
home.
True. Yeah.
right?
From home.
They
Yeah.
cleaned up.
So
This
you're in your
year.
PJs, just like watching them.
And then so you have like virtual, so you're all on the Zoom call after, and to ask like the backstage questions with the winners. And you know, you can have your camera off, so you're just like eating whatever, like chilling.
I just picture like women like all dolled up, neck up, like
yeah, and then like
all ready to rock and roll,
sweatpants
like,
underneath. Yeah,
wearing their like pajama pants.
yeah.
Hair all done up.
It's not the same. It's really too bad. That's the fun of the industry. But it'll come back though.
I just say, do you like the whole like getting glamored up, getting ready, the whole? Because it's got to be a day like the Emmys, for example. It's probably got to be a 20-hour day, no?
For
something
sure.
like that.
Yeah,
Actually,
like
what's a
for
day
our
look like that?
hosts, like they have like full hair, makeup. We have our stylist bring the outfit in, fittings.
Yeah, but you're part of all that too because you're the
Yeah,
producer, so you're
for
setting
sure.
out all of it up. Correct?
For sure. And I'm making sure it looks good. I'm making sure we're all prepped. Our space is good. There's a lot of working parts to it.
What if let's go with the Emmys last year, one of these big award shows? What's a typical day? What's not a typical? What's your day look like on one of these big award show days? Tell us like from wake up to bed.
Sure. So usually like I'm up really late the night before because we're prepping for the red carpet. And usually there's like little events that happen leading up to it as well. And then you're prepping kind of all morning, getting
so up at
ready.
Like 5, 6. 7,
No.
8.
No.
So you're sleeping in a little.
Yeah,
Okay,
as a producer, I'm okay. It's fine.
Yeah, you're good. Hair and makeup starts early. You know they're on time. You're good.
Yeah, and then it's you know, in the industry, everyone says it's like hurry up and wait. That's the joke of the industry. So you're going as fast as you can. You get to the red carpet, get our press passes. Are we ready? We're ready to go. And then it's like we're waiting for the celebrities. Waiting. Everyone comes through. Interview. Hey, come here. Like Catherine Zeta-Jones, get over here. Like Michael Douglas, come here. And then it's like waiting again. Like it's just You have to be on the ball constantly because you don't know who's going to pop up from the red carpet. And a lot of the bigger celebrities, they like coming onto the red carpet at the very end where they can just kind of like run past everyone right into the award show. Be like, sorry, the show's starting. We've got to go. That's kind of the trick for celebrities.
Wow.
Yeah. So you get all the big stars right at the end. And then we're yelling, say hi, wave to the camera, give us a smile. Just to kind of get those like B-roll shots for our like raps and
How long is the red carpet typically, and how is it just packed with camera crews and everything?
Packed.
We're gonna walk one day, buddy. Me and you, the Pals podcast.
I've been on red carpets where we are standing on top of each other. I am on a box, and it's
works
like,
for you though because you're tall.
Yeah,
you
it's true. I
a
get the
little
good height. I can
advantage.
see. I have a good view. Yeah.
Feels you're like 6'1", 6'2". You're good.
But it typically, like, let's say for the Emmys, like, how is it? Just like in relation, like, how long would it be? I personally don't watch a lot of award shows and stuff like that. I mean, like, I'm not sure I watch, but
long.
Yeah.
Huge.
Oh, jeez.
Like 100 meters.
Like it'd be this times the 10. Like
and
huge.
Is it do you have predetermined like spots where you have to be, or is it just kind of like
no, you can't just stand
not
wherever
just
you
like
want.
like run in, rush, and get in front of the line?
So everyone has to be approved. You have to have a press pass. You can't just walk in.
Yeah.
You know, big outlets, or if it's a sponsored outlet for the show, they have an actual platform and you have a nice space with stairs and like beautiful decor. And then if you're a smaller network, you're sometimes squished in behind like a planter with like 10 other people, and you're like, come to me, and you're holding up a sign.
Wait, I wonder if Pals could get.
For sure we can. Fun fact, actually,
What do you mean for sure? You can get a press pass?
I'll figure out something. Don't worry. Next big.
Rick can finesse, man. This
you know I can do it. Fun fact, I interviewed Michael Douglas.
Nice.
What? Yes.
How was that?
At Media Planet. Not like this, but via questions.
Like a phoner.
Via
over
question.
the phone.
Via email. Holy crap.
No, that was just funny.
How am I even on this show anymore? So I worked at a company called Media Planet like 6-7 years ago.
Sorry.
And
this one looks, I didn't even think that was you.
Yeah, that was a photo from university that I was using for Fashion Week.
Baby cat.
Baby cat.
I did a campaign on oral health or something. I think Michael Douglas had throat cancer or something. I can't remember the connection. I believe that's it. So I reached out to his publicist, said I was doing this thing, emailed him a whole bunch of questions, and then it got featured in the Toronto Star with this whole massive.
I remember that.
Michael Douglas was the front cover.
Nice.
Of our little section. So
you were an interviewer before you even knew it.
What can I say? James Hinchcliffe, I think I did too.
I don't. Oh, the race car driver.
Race car driver. Can't remember. Cool. I don't know. Whatever.
My first ever interview was Ben Mulrooney.
Ah,
So
that's
that
a
was
good
pretty
one.
cool
Wait, it seems
because
stupid. Why do I know
he
that?
knows how to talk.
He's on E-Talk or ET.
He was the anchor of E-Talk,
Right.
and now he's on the morning show and or Your Morning. Yeah, so that was pretty cool interviewing him.
Jessica Mulrooney just shared one of our posts.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. She's got like 500,000 followers or something crazy.
Yeah.
Which is
Someone
cool.
said she's like been. I don't know. I don't get.
Yeah,
So,
so,
like,
like-
controversy. Something recent. I didn't know this. I don't. Again, don't follow it. As
Yeah,
much,
we'll
but-
skip that. Yeah.
Oh, if you're around
We'll skip
that. Dream job.
Dream job
Like
currently.
any network, any. Oh, can you answer that? But like any net or anything. Like what was like when you were a kid? You said you knew you wanted to be in this. Was it like I want to be like, head anchor at NBC or something? Like was there one role you always wanted?
Yeah, I always wanted to direct. I want to be like the Steven Spielberg. Like
Really?
yeah,
So you want to direct movies?
yeah, or like drama TV shows or yeah.
But are you is still something that you still aspire to, or you like now that you're in like being a producer?
It's shifted because I do get to do components of that. Yeah, it's just changed a little bit. Like I still get to do writing. I get to put pieces together. I get to position people. I'm like, I don't want those flowers there. I get to see the overall picture.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know what a producer was when I was younger. And if I knew, this is what I was always meant to be doing.
Fair. So they're very like because I think I have a gist of like the difference between the two, but I didn't realize how similar and how much overlap there is between like a producer, even like of a movie and all that stuff. Because it's really interesting, right? Like when you're doing the production, it feels like you're putting the production together, and then directing. I guess you're navigating it.
You're overseeing the visuals of it.
Okay. You know what's interesting? I think I learned this from Entourage.
I think a producer's like a builder. The director's like the interior designer kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or architect.
Or architect maybe.
I don't know. Yeah.
Whatever.
Brain's not really working today.
Entourage.
No, I was gonna say one thing I didn't
Brain's
know.
not
That I learned watching. I think it was Entourage. Is sometimes when you see executive producer, I remember that one time they were trying to get like Vinny Chase. Have you seen Entourage by any chance?
Yes, of course.
So
that was one of my first ever like favorite shows.
that show is.
That's a
I
good
rewatched
show.
it recently, like a couple months ago, start to finish. And even though Ari Gold, I think, is the best character in the show, I watched. I'm like, man, this stuff would not fly today.
No, there's so many like things wrong with that show,
man,
but
it's-
like back in the day, like sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Even
but
The Office though. Sorry to cut you off. The Office would never fly today.
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. It's not. I don't think so. I don't think too much.
I've heard a lot of jokes on that. I'm like, ooh, can't
Oh.
say that today.
What I was gonna say was I didn't know that like sometimes executive producers. So maybe you can clarify this if it's true or not. On that show, they're like, yeah, we'll throw Vinny an EP credit, like almost like they just give it to like actors as part of like a bonus, put their name on the reel at the end.
In movies, people say you can buy.
That's what I kind of thought.
Buy that title.
Yeah.
With like a TV show, it's different. Like so, like my boss is the executive producer, and he oversees all aspects, and he's very involved. So
Okay.
it depends.
It's different.
Yeah.
Because I always saw that, yeah, and I remember. Yeah, I think I've seen it again recently. You can like kind of buy an EP credit.
Well, you always see
Be
it in like
sick.
massive movies today. You're like, wait, Brad Pitt was executive producer on this? Like, what? And I just always figured maybe they dumped a little bit of money into it and like,
Yeah, when it comes to movies, for sure.
hey, you know what? Get us Angelina Jolie to do a 5-minute cameo. We'll give me a
Give me a credit.
credit. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like probably like that. Something like, knock off $100K on her fee and we'll toss you a credit. Something
Yeah,
like that.
and, like,
There's
people
I don't
who-
know if they would do
backdoor
that though.
deals
Like
or
she
something.
makes
People who own the networks, they'll have their name as an executive producer
Yeah.
on a lot of movies.
Yeah.
something like that.
Have you done any like the tours, like the Universal tours in LA?
Of course.
Oh, wait, are you like a big fan of like Disney and stuff like that as well? No, like like when you did the tours.
Yeah,
at Disneyland
it's like
Universal?
magical. Of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time. The Universal Studios one was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I remember doing it. I thought it was the craziest thing. You know what? I remember like the street that they filmed Desperate Housewives on is like on set, Wisteria
Yeah.
Lane, whatever. I never
And
remember
it's
my mom used to watch it.
it's actual houses. It's
Yeah.
an actual neighborhood is the set that they
Oh,
built.
you haven't done it in LA?
No.
Dude, it's so cool.
The Universal Studios
The
one,
backlot's
they
cool.
have, like a New York setting with like real bricks and it's
Bruce
crazy.
Almighty. If you watch Bruce Almighty,
know
that was
exactly what it
filmed.
is.
That was filmed on that lot. Back to the Future, the actual City Hall is on that lot. Like you go through and you're like, you literally look around. You're like, this is crazy.
It's
This
like
is,
thousands of acres of just
oh,
like movie
it's
sets.
insane.
Where is it?
There's a giant lake they have, like a giant pond with a big green screen, like it's just like the size of a football field, and that's where they recreate a lot of like pirate movies.
Jaws,
yeah, it's crazy. It's literally up like where the studios all are, up Sunset or not Sunset, up in the hills, I guess. Anyways, if you have a chance, when we go to LA,
go to LA.
when we go to the Emmys, and
let's
we're
go.
on it,
You need my
we're gonna-
you need my two
finesse
plus
LA.
ones.
Yeah.
We'll do
There
stuff.
we go. That's our in.
What?
We're gonna go with them.
You have
We're
to
the-
butter
we're the
me up,
po-
and you
the-
need my plus one.
Yeah, we're the podcast something. I don't know.
Yeah.
The podcast correspondents.
That's it.
You never know. You never know.
Well, since there's not much competition, like in Canada, small networks, so maybe we start our own network.
I've already got all the podcasters on my
The Pals
my-
Podcast Network.
I love it. What's Kat? What's next for you?
What's next for me? That is a good question. I don't know. It's hard to say with everything that's happening with the pandemic right now, because everything's up in the air, and I feel so blessed that I have this job still, and people are still consuming celebrity entertainment culture right now. Pre-pandemic, I was doing more like on camera work, so I want to go back to that because that's kind of where my passion is.
Yeah.
Well, you said but you also want to be a director. Director's mostly off camera though, so it's kind of a 50-50.
Yeah, I want to do both. I love being able to produce myself, write my own stuff, and then say it on camera.
And see it come to life.
Yeah.
Do you find it tough to write like stuff for like on camera? Do you have to be very strategic, or does it come to you easily?
Now it does. 'Cause I'm used to it.
Yeah.
But you have to write for the way you think the person will speak. Yeah.
Interesting.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Do you have is there any tricks do you get like any industry tricks or anything like that? Like when you're trying to write something, like to know or how to like gear the conversation, or is it just kind of
When it's an interview, or it's like what do you mean?
I'm honestly, I don't know what I meant, but yeah, I guess like an interview. I kind of thought in my head that question sounded good, but I realized after I said it. But like, yeah, if you're interviewing and you're writing, because you're producing for the person on camera, right? So is there certain tricks to like put certain questions first, to like gear it a certain way, or?
So as a producer, when you're talking to your host, you have to make sure you let them know like what we need to talk about, what needs to get discussed. And also sometimes a publicist will say, my talent will not discuss certain topics. Yeah. But also like yes or no questions, like I stay away from that stuff. I go for more like feeling questions. Like, how does this make you feel? So it can start a better conversation.
Interesting.
What are the big no-nos?
When it comes to
like, let's say you're producing a show. Okay, guys, make sure that you don't do this. Like, okay, maybe gum. I know is one big no. Never have gum. You're never supposed to chew gum.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a given. That's a given.
Don't chew, don't eat.
Yeah, but they say it's like, never have gum on like.
I can't tell you how many like junket interviews our team has done where celebrities are just eating like in the interview.
Junkets, like when you do like the short
so
ones.
those are like the 4-minute
Yeah.
quick interviews. You jump in, jump out. So celebrities are sitting there for hours on end. So like starving. So we have like footage of just people eating like granola bars, and yeah.
It's gotta be so tired. Like that's gotta be tiring on the actor side, let's say, or a person being interviewed, but also like on the other side, like how to differentiate yourself and get some reaction out of them in those interviews.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the interview. It just depends what you can talk about and what you can't talk about. In Canada, we are very polite and we try not to go for like salacious news. If there's a breakup, we're going to be respectful and not touch on that stuff. If someone's going through something personally, we're going to try and keep it to the movie or the music.
Have you ever had any awkward encounters, like where like your
Of course.
Can you say them?
Okay, well, I had one of my first ever red carpets was at TIFF. I was covering a major party. This was like an end of the night party. Every single huge celebrity was there. And I was just like so petrified, like I didn't know what to do. I usually now I prep, so I don't need to bring notes to red carpet. And I had like all these papers with me, and I was interviewing Sebastian Stan.
He's in Iron with the metal arm in Marvel.
Yes, yeah. And
Iron Fist.
I was interviewing him. I think he had quite a bit to drink. And I was like very nervous, and I like dropped my papers mid-interview, and he was like, oh my God, sweetie, let me help you. And so he like bent down, was picking my papers. I was like, oh my God, so embarrassing. And he's like, do you want to come inside and party with me? And I was like, no, I can't do this right now. That was pretty, we have it on camera to this day. It's pretty petrifying.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's your blooper
5 years
reel.
ago. Yeah, that's my blooper reel.
Imagine if we had a blooper reel.
Every episode I have bloopers, man.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
I interviewed Michael Douglas via questions. That's got to be on mine.
Yeah.
Via email, you mean?
Yeah.
That's what I meant, right? But I said
We
questions.
say like that's the other thing
Every
with the
episode we got
podcast,
a
which is
bunch
good.
of-
Is like we're not structured at all. We just kind of talk. So we say some dumb shit. Like,
Yeah.
half the time I don't have done it in a while, but I'll tell stories, and it'll start, and I'll be like, oh no, I forget where this is
You're
going.
like, where's the ending? I know. I start talking. I'm like, what was the question again? Like, I do that all the time.
See, but that's good that you ask. See, I don't stop. I just kind of like, okay, I can dig myself out of this. I can dig myself. And then I start going like this and up here and around. And I was like, okay, so what were we talking about?
Yeah, then he'll just look at me and be like, yeah,
And I'm
so
like,
yeah.
yep, and that's the story. Or I'll just cut it off because I know it's not going anywhere. And it's,
Yeah.
I have a lot of bloopers on this.
I have a lot of just forgetting what the word is that I'm looking
Yeah.
for. And it'd be like,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
a jacket. I'm like, that thing you put over your body to stay warm.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. Gotta listen to more like audiobooks and read some books, man.
Yeah, maybe
Expand the
that's it.
vocabulary.
Nah, I kind of like it.
Jackets, coats, trenches.
Yeah, I've never done one that
You
bad.
know what word you just said that I don't think I've heard anybody use? Salacious.
Salacious.
It's a great word. I don't think I've ever heard that someone say that before. Like
No?
I know.
I like that word.
Yeah.
I like infamous too.
Infamous.
Infamous. That's a good one.
Yeah. People. So I think I often mix up infamous and infamy with what it actually means. It's being known for.
We're not supposed to use that word. That's a no-no.
Really.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a no-no.
It's a no-no.
What do you mean? Because infamy is associated like negative. Like you're known for bad.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And people use it as a way to say they're famous.
Yeah.
So, but that's not accurate.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a common misconception.
The infamous Cat Williams.
I don't think that's accurate.
Okay, what are some other no-nos?
Wait, sorry. Have you ever asked someone something? They'd be like, I declined to comment, or like next question.
Oh, 100%. All the time.
Really?
For sure.
They just like look at you.
I'm
Like,
pretty
no.
PG still, and I have other, hosts and producers who ask stuff, and I'm like, whoo, okay, like let's get into that. Yeah,
on.
no, for sure.
Wow.
And sometimes you get questions approved, and then you actually go to ask someone, and they won't answer.
Really?
Yeah,
So it's like they just want you to ask just for sake?
yeah. I have so many
really?
stories that I can't tell you, but yes.
Okay, we'll
you tell us
it-
after?
Yeah, off air.
Honestly, that's really, really cool. I really want to know these stories now. I hate, like, that's the one thing that's like always just not gets me going, but like someone's like has a story and it's a good story and like can't say. I'm like, oh damn.
We usually
Yeah.
get lucky. Most people tell us after, though. We feel like we have a couple of recent. Remember, Ilya Theodoro told us off air. That was good. So we've had some fun stories, but yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, you were gonna ask something before I cut you off there.
More no-nos. What are the other no-nos?
When it comes to
Like putting on a show with something that, I don't know, maybe if it's a female host, can't wear white or something. I don't know. What are some...
I'm trying to find out industry faux pas and cliches.
when you're on camera, you are not supposed to wear a lot of pattern. And when you're wearing a pattern that goes horizontally, it makes you look bigger on camera, right?
Wish I knew that like at a younger
there you
age.
go. So don't wear crazy zigzags on camera
Oh, that's easy one.
because it can look kind of funky on TV.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
what about from the behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes.
Like, don't record from this angle because people look bad or something. I don't know.
Oh, a huge faux pas in the industry is like asking for photos. Unless you are interviewing them yourself and that it feels natural at the end and you're going to use the photo for an article or something for social media, then people understand. But if you're interning and you are in the background, there's a celebrity there and you're asking for a photo, it's just like a huge no.
Good way to end
It
your
just
career
looks,
quickly.
yeah, it looks really unprofessional.
Tacky.
Yeah. So I actually I don't have any photos with celebrities. And I've interviewed and met so many different celebrities, but I just don't feel like it's appropriate.
We actually talked about, I think we talked about this recently. So one thing that I find really interesting when it comes to like celebrities and stuff like that is that people often like they see them and they just want to run up to get the photo, right? And then like they take that photo and they post it or show them. But the photo just means you bumped into somebody. I think if people actually took the time to really think about what is valuable, people care about. Like for me, honestly, I used to get excited a lot about certain like athletes and everything. But like I met one of my actually best like interactions that I met someone. I met Michael B. Jordan outside bar one night. I had some drinks and I saw him leaving, and I was like my brother, and he's leaving. I was like, I want to go talk to him. I don't want to get a picture. I just went up to him. I was like, big fan. Creed just came out. He's like, thanks, man. We just started talking for a bit. Didn't ask for a photo.
People appreciate that more. Yeah. They just want to have a conversation.
Like he actually stopped to talk. His buddy's actually like, we got to go. But he was talking for a couple minutes. Nothing long. Just like pleasantries, whatever. But that's the thing. Is like the point I was making was everybody wants to run and get that photo and then just go show their friends that they met them. But if you actually went up to most like a celebrity, I would assume, and you just struck up a conversation, they would probably talk to you a little more and engage. And if anything, that is probably more, that is more valuable to share, because like you said, you don't have a lot of photos, but the stories you have probably trump that you could, if I had a bunch of photos and you had your stories, like your stories would take the cake at a party versus like, cool, I got a picture with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. Big so deal. Like when I was in Barbados for my birthday, you know, Rihanna walks into the room, everyone's taking photos, but like I'm not going to take photos. I'd rather be hanging out with her and her team than being that person where you actually create a barrier. When you put a camera in front of your, like in between you. Oh, you mean like wait, so you mean like it's like a social barrier? Yes.
Yeah, because you're seen more as a fan than a friend.
You create it almost, you create it because you're kind of removing yourself from it into something in front of you, but also you're creating a barrier because now they see you as just someone.
Yeah, they see you as a fan instead of
I'd rather be like partying with them and like become their friends than be like, I'm such a fan. Can I get a photo with you, please? And then you walk away and that's the interaction.
Yes.
It doesn't feel as authentic.
Yeah. I just over the last little while I've noticed, because you'll be places or, you know, I feel like I've bumped into celebrities or athletes in all different variety of circumstances. And you always see people like, or you'll see somebody go and take a photo, and then you'll see another person just come. And I remember hearing this once, and I don't remember who it was. It might have been I think it was an athlete in Toronto somewhere. I recognize them. I don't even think I said anything or went up to them, but I remember seeing someone else recognize them going to take a photo. Then I was getting closer, and I see another person come over and just takes a photo, and he's like, literally the guy goes, who are you? Which player are you? Who are you? And I was like, man, that is so bad. Like, you literally went to get a photo with someone that you didn't know who they were to what? Go show your friends that you met this person? Yeah. It's so, I find it so bizarre, people's fascination with it. Like, again, it's cool, it's photo, you're capturing a memory. But I mean, again, like, I'd rather go up to them and talk to them for a minute. Yeah, even, so like, I went seconds.
To a Coachella party a couple years ago, and it was like Kendall Jenner, Bella, Gigi Hadid at the time, Haley Baldwin before she was Bieber.
Was it that private party that influencers?
It's a McDonald's party. Oh. It's like, this is like the party of Coachella. Wow. Like it's called.
Sounds like my kind of party.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that one.
Yeah, that's what I need to get into.
You eat your McDonald's fries. You're with like models. You're like, this is the life.
Mac sauce.
That literally sounds like my dream party. At McDonald's.
And imagine they have just a big Mac sauce
fondue.
Fountain.
See? Dude, you can't even think of the words.
I almost had
a Mac sauce.
I was literally just saying it. It would have taken me a second, but I would have said fountain. A Mac sauce.
Yeah, and like Diplo was there, and I brought some of my girlfriends who don't work in the industry, and they were snapping photos, and I was like, you know what? I was like, just be cool, you know, just like be chill. Like, yeah, exactly. Act like you belong, and like this is why I get invited to the places that I get invited to is because cool. I just like I walk in like I am the star.
Exactly.
You know? And then people come to me, who's that girl? And I'm like, wouldn't you like to know?
That's why I asked, and
I am nobody, but wouldn't you like to know?
I'm not just pumping your tires, but that's why I asked at the beginning when you first walked into your job, were you nervous and you feel like you belong? Because you do give off that impression like that you just kind of like.
The biggest thing for me, career and in my life, is fake it till you make it.
I was just about to say those words. Yeah, honestly. And if you walk in, I actually heard this. So I heard this. I was listening to Matthew McConaughey's audiobook, and he actually narrates it, which is really cool. I just started it. And I can't remember how he said it, but he's like, his mom always told him, don't walk in like you're going to buy the place, walk in like you own the place.
Yeah. So my biggest piece of advice, just to like jump in there, is when you're starting off, if you want to work in television or film or wherever, as an intern, like you should be dressing for the job you want, not the job you have. So like I always like dressed to the nines, where people would come in for the show and they would come straight to me thinking I was the producer or the host. They wouldn't know.
Yeah. That's how you carry yourself. And if you respect yourself too, other people, like I guess it goes for many ways with your job, with your role, even being out in public. If you show respect to yourself, other people kind of get that vibe and they'll kind of feed off it.
Yeah.
That's a 117. Yeah, not my thing. Yeah. We
Mental
for the
note.
clip. Yeah, we make notes. Jordan's not here; she can't make a note. But that isn't. Yeah, I find that to be one of the most fascinating things, and it's like I don't know why people do it and what that complex is that they have to get it. But yeah,
We had a lot of good quotes there between the two of you guys. I was listening. I was like, well, those were good ones.
so smart, man.
Yeah.
Wisdom.
You should
I've said
join
them
us
all, though.
on the other side.
You've said them
Rick's
all
in here
before.
thinking like, okay, I gotta remember
He's
the
like,
next word. I'm
"What's
gonna
a
talk about
sweater called?"
jackets.
No.
So I gotta remember it's called a coat. Wait, what is the difference? I have a question. What is the difference between a jacket, a coat? Like a
There's
jacket,
many
a-
differences.
Is there?
And the fact that you don't know is a little concerning.
What?
Well, like a
I didn't know there was. Jacket is a coat.
no, but that's the thing. Like, they're interchangeable, but I think there's a difference.
Yeah.
Is there?
Coats are longer.
Maybe coat's more formal.
Coat is more of like, I think of a winter coat. Jacket, I think more of like a bomber jacket. A
See,
little
this is
jacket.
why we need Jordan here. This is the perfect.
Yeah,
question. Jordan,
that's actually a
pull it
good point. Like a jacket would be like a wind. Yeah,
Leather jacket.
got it. Yeah,
Right?
I've never thought about that.
up. Yeah, but think about
Jacket's
trench
coat.
coat.
Yeah, but
That's true. You
Yeah.
got me there.
Ricky comes up with a good
Yeah, I
one.
know who's laughing, guy.
No, that's really interesting. Yeah. Have you ever seen anything embarrassing? I've like any embarrassing stories of like fan interactions or a celebrity's done something, maybe not
Tripped on a red carpet or something.
I've been at Fashion Week of like models have fallen.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and it's pretty awkward. But then you're clapping. You're like, come on, it's okay.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward because you're all like cringing together, being like, get up.
How is Fashion Week in comparison, like Fashion Weeks versus like award shows? Is there a big difference?
It's such a huge difference.
Really?
So award shows are like 1 or 2 nights. Fashion Week's like a full week of it's all day and like all night. So you're going to shows during the day, at night, and then you're partying all night. And you have like hundreds of outfits.
What's your favorite Fashion Week event or moment from any Fashion Week? I got New York here in front of me, but
Yeah, I went to New York
gotta be cool.
pre-pandemic this past February.
Wow.
right before.
Right before, and yeah, it was pretty amazing.
It's so funny. Every time you tell a story, you're like, you always say pretty amazing. You're looking down. I know there's stories, and you just can't say
tell.
them. See, but that's the thing. See, you have the good stories because you don't go taking photos. You go there, but you go there to hang out.
It's true. I went to a show. Christian Siriano and Coco Rocha. She's like a massive Canadian model. Was
Sick
walking
name.
in the show. Yeah.
Coco Rocha.
And Leslie Jones.
That SNL actress.
Yes.
She's hilarious.
She is hilarious, Les Dog, and she was
that's
front
what
Wait, you
row.
call
Les
Les
Dog?
Dog?
That's her Twitter handle.
Oh, I know. Sorry, I haven't been on Twitter in a little while. But
Yeah. And she was
Dog.
front row, and she was like, "Yes, Coco!" And she's standing up, "Yes, Coco, yes!" And I have like the best videos ever. And then after, usually celebrities go out backstage and they kind of go straight into their cars, and like you don't see them. And she literally walked out with the rest of us and was like taking photos with everyone. She's like, "What's up?" Like
Yeah.
it was so fun. Another year, previous year at New York Fashion Week, I try and get into like, you know, the cool different parties, and I'm walking up. There's this like really cool club in New York. I will not say what restaurant is above because it was like my secret little club. It's like a celebrity only club.
Really?
Or, you know, you walk in pretending you are someone. So one of my girlfriends, she's like, goes up to like the host and she's like, "I represent the Kat Williams from Canada, and she's a big deal, and you must let her in." And like, "Oh, okay."
Make it
Okay.
man. I love that.
And we walk in, and I'm walking in, and Bella Hadid's walking out. Victoria's Secret angels are walking out. Like, it was a
That's
time.
the spot.
Jeez.
Complete
Yeah.
side random though. Have either of you guys been to the Box in New York?
No.
No.
Do
I haven't
you
been to
guys
New York
know
in a
what it
while.
is?
No, what is that?
The Box.
It's like this crazy, like, I don't know. They say it's members only, but I got there and I wasn't a member. But it's like a crazy like sex club. Like-
Hold up.
not like-
First of all, it's
Not-
members only, but then you said you went. So let's
Yeah.
back up
Sorry,
and let's
what's
unpack
the
this.
story?
Let's unpack.
Yeah. So
Why did you go alone?
No, I didn't go alone. So I was there maybe about 7 years ago, and it's like this small little club. I guess maybe like, I don't know, 200 people max, and it's almost like an auditorium style like 200-person room, and like the main stage is like.
Were you on the main stage?
No. I was in a table.
But like a party club or like a sex
so
club?
so everyone's got. It's only
Like I'm
basically
picturing
only
like
booths.
a New York version of like Berghain in Berlin. That's like weird shit happens.
Like
Yeah,
red
like-
light district
So
stuff.
I'll explain what happens. So they say it's a members only like private event, but we literally got in. They're like, look, what do we need to do to get in? They're like, oh, you can't. I'm like, okay, well, we'll get a table. Like it's $5,000. We're like, okay, it's $5,000. Like we're getting a table.
when
That's
was
it.
this?
This is in 2013 or 14. I'm with a couple guys from Media Planet. Yeah, I'll say it. So we had a table. So we ended up getting tables like whatever, like $4,000 or something, and we were like 4 or 5 guys, and we're there. So we start getting some drinks, and then like lights all go down, center stage, the lights come on, like people come out and do some wild shit, like wild.
It's not like a swingers club. It's like a sex show.
Yeah, like it's
Oh,
a
okay.
sex show.
Oh,
club.
I was
thinking
thinking
swingers club.
something different.
I thought you
no,
walk in,
sorry.
everyone's just trying to have sex with you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Why?
That's what a sex club is.
Yeah.
Is it? Well, what am I thinking? What's this place?
A
then?
show.
Sex show club is different. Sex club would seem like almost like a.
Like I thought you were
it
taking
is
part
a
in
cult.
this.
It
Eyes
is-
Wide
it is a
Shut. Is it like a
club,
movie
though.
or something like that?
That's a strip club. Eyes Wide Shut.
No. What? It's not a movie.
Oh, is it?
Maybe I'm thinking of something
I
else.
wandered into one of those in New York one time.
Wandered in.
I wandered.
Wandered in.
Yeah, but that place was nuts. I remember like I saw some shit. I was like, I can't unsee this ever again.
Really?
I was wondering.
That's how I felt.
But they say it's all
It's
like,
probably the
like a
same
big like
club.
celebrities go there like when they want their like quiet nights. It's I don't know, weird. I didn't see any celebrities, but that's what I was told.
Saw some things.
I saw some things.
Guys,
will
I feel
never
like you
unsee.
both need to. After this episode is over, we're gonna sit for a bit and hear some stories.
I'll tell you guys these stories from this night. 'Cause
I don't think you told me this ever.
I will never unsee these things. Ever.
Same.
Where's the coolest party you've been to? Like one that like just takes the cake.
The coolest. Oh man.
Coolest party and then coolest venue you've been that's had a party.
I mean that McDonald's party was I think one of the coolest. Like everywhere you looked, there was a major celebrity.
Yeah.
Val's
That was
podcast.
pretty. I'm pretty sure I saw you guys there.
Could have been. Oh, you mean you saw Bradley Cooper and you thought it was me? I know. What can I say?
Yeah.
Bad joke.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was a
Sorry.
bad joke.
That was a
It
terrible
it was a
joke.
really
I didn't even
bad
hear it
joke.
at first, and then I processed that and I realized that you really comparing yourself very closely to Bradley Cooper. Now it's very interesting to me.
It could be me. Could be me. Sorry.
Yeah.
So high praise.
I don't know. It's hard to pin it because, even like a tiny little party, if you have the right people, like it's so memorable
Yeah.
and amazing.
Agreed.
Well, that's why I asked, because like honestly, like I asked the party and venue because I find they're two different things, right? A lot of people you can go to a party in like the randomest places, and even venue. Like when you ask people like the coolest party, sometimes they'll say just like they'll pick
Like
a
a
nightclub.
warehouse.
right?
Or just like this fashion week, I went to like a fashion after party in like an old church. Actually, 2 fashion weeks ago in New York, huge fashion show in Brooklyn. The fashion show. So when you go to Fashion Week, you want to get invited to the off-site shows, not the shows that the actual Fashion Week corporation puts on.
Because nobody goes to those.
There
No.
are some good
Okay.
ones. So like in New York, there's Spring Studios, and that's where like all the shows happen.
Oh, okay.
But if you're cool, you get invites to like the off-site, like
Yeah.
big designer shows. So I got an invite to this amazing show in Brooklyn, and Philip Plein, and he is crazy with his fashion.
He always pops up on my not always, but a lot of times he pops up on my Instagram like explore page.
Yeah.
I think it's him.
I didn't know
So
who he is.
it took place
Philip
in an
Plein, yeah.
airplane hangar. And he transformed the entire thing into like this extraterrestrial world with like the silver space mountain, and the models came out of like a flying disc that like came down from
A
the
UFO.
ceiling, whatever UFO disc.
I'm not the only one.
There you
I'm
go.
not the only
it was
one.
flying. Okay, whatever.
Not the only one.
Yeah, and you walk and there's like fake snow everywhere. And I was like sitting beside like the food god, like Jonathan
yeah,
Chaban,
yeah.
and that was wild. And it was just like a huge dance party, and like Migos performed.
That's kind of
And it's like an hour and a half long show.
What?
Yeah, most fashion shows are 10 minutes, but like they made a full performance out of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Philip Plein. Is he the guy that I was thinking this? I said he's the guy he's married. I think.
I'm not sure, but he does like crazy snowsuits and like very street style, like in your face fashion.
He's the guy I always see. Like it always pops on my explore page. The guy with his wife. He's a design. I don't know. It's so random because I don't follow any like fashion stuff on my like Instagram.
George, what's the coolest party you've ever been to?
Coolest party. I'm not very cool. I don't know. For coolest venue, I will say I do think Moni and Mykonos are one of my favorites. I think it's very like cool. I've seen some like, even there, like you'll go, it's so small, and I've seen like celebrities or like NBA players, stuff like that, when they're there in the summer, and like.
Have you been to the one in Mykonos where the pool is shaped like Mykonos? What's that one called?
Santana.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
I'm not to sound like I go to Mykonos, but I've been going for a long time. I think like I went 13 years in a row. I think it's the first year I haven't gone. It's changed a lot. I think for the better. I think it's cool now. And it's everybody go. It's like Tulum. Like everyone's mothers are there right now.
Oh my god, yeah.
I can't go to Tulum anymore.
You're
No,
done with
is
Tulum,
it fun? Like I've never been.
Yeah, I went like 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Before it was
Cool.
5 or 6 years ago actually. Yeah.
You go to the cool parties before they're cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been to Tulum, and I honestly have no.
I haven't been to Mexico
desire
since
to
I went
go.
to Cabo like 8 years ago. I went to Cabo.
I love Cabo. I usually go every Christmas.
So when I went, I didn't have the best trip, but I also stayed at like the Rio, which not really my kind of vibe anymore. But I hear there's a lot of now like boutique hotels and like a really nice vibe down there. Yeah. Sorry. Anyways, my favorite party that's one of them. I don't know my favorite actual party I've been to. That Kygo one was pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
We
that's
got invited
Samsung
to,
one.
yeah. Tuesday night or something we went.
We weaseled our way in that one, eh? That was on the house. Thanks.
You're like, this is the famous Ricky.
Yeah. No, it's
Of the-
Kygo
of
did.
the
A,
podcast.
What about you? Your favorite party?
To be honest,
Sorry.
oh gosh, Georgie, rookie.
That never happened.
No, probably my favorite party I've ever been to was the one in Revlin, in Dubrovnik inside
Yeah.
the castle. I thought that was super cool. I don't know. I don't really go to many cool parties. Like I'm pretty normal.
We're not
dude.
as cool as you.
Yeah, I'm a pretty normal guy.
I will say, and I've said this recently, like I've had this new there's this new thing that I got like kind of put onto these parties called Circle, CERCLE. And they're basically like DJ events, but they get thrown in like the craziest places. So like this Japanese DJ, is it Zhu? I don't know how to pronounce it always, but he played like in the mountains of like Japan. It's like a little small like chalet with like a couple hundred people. People have played on like helicopter pads in like Brazil, and like one of the recent ones in front of the Great Pyramids of Giza. Like to me, that's like now like something I really want to do, and if we were able to travel and it was safe, I would.
Yeah, I went to a party actually in Toronto at the harborfront, and this brand sailed us out on these beautiful sailboats, and they had a DJ in the middle of the water.
Corona Sunsets, no?
Floating. Yeah, that was it. A floating dock.
Oh, so that's what Corona Sunsets was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go?
I went to a different one. I didn't go to that one. I think Ryan Shepard DJ'd one of them. Didn't
Yeah,
he?
he did.
Yeah, we have him coming on next week.
Shout out to Rye.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Do you know what's actually, George? We did go to some cool parties at Lost and Found, though.
That's the other thing.
You know what I
I'll
mean?
never
Like,
forget. Speaking
man,
of people
Justin
taking
Bieber,
photos, I've never felt less important in my life, and got not that like I'm saying go to the parties and we get attention or anything like that, but like when we'd go back in the day, like we knew people there. That day Bieber showed up, I was like, what's the point of being here?
Actually, you know what's cool?
Everyone who slammed. Hey, sorry, go ahead.
Bud Light Living. I've been. Have you heard about those?
I was
I've been
actually in
invited
it.
to
I
a
was
bunch
in
of
one of
the house parties. Which one?
I was on stage at Digital Dreams with so I won one of them. I got put on stage at Digital Dreams with Adventure Club, and then they invited me to the after party. So I was with like we hung out with like not hung out. We were like kind of the same areas, Zed and Martin Garrix and them, and I got to DJ as well. I used to DJ back at Western, and then they let me kind of DJ the after party, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
those
I got-
Bud Light house parties are cool because it's so intimate.
Did you do?
Oh,
Wait, did
no,
you
not
get to do
that.
it? No, we didn't get to do the house party. Did you get to do it at Western?
House party.
I did a couple of them in Toronto.
Did you go to like I know Steve Aoki did
Steve
one. I
Aoki did
think.
some.
Yeah, I actually went to. I was just remembering. I went to a fashion party and it was like 50 people with Steve Aoki, and I was just like with him taking selfies while he was DJing. And I'm like, you never get this opportunity.
That's so sick.
Yeah. That's actually he threw like my favorite parties ever. I was a huge like rave girl, like a DJ. Like I'm with the DJ. I would ditch all my girlfriends and be like, sorry guys, you know the drill. Like I had to be up like in the DJ booth. I remember going to
I honestly can relate a lot. Like, I did DJ at Western. I had a residency at Cobra.
you
and
were
I
the
just-
DJ.
I
I
was the
probably
DJ.
was up beside you dancing. Maybe
I
they
was
met.
in fourth. You would have been first year
year.
probably.
I was probably a Cobra.
If you were, I was out Friday night. Was it Friday nights at Cobra we did?
Thursday nights at Cobra, wasn't
No,
it?
Thursdays
did
was
Fridays.
premiere, I think. No, Ollie did it Thursday nights?
No, Ollie did Fridays with us.
Yeah, those are the best parties. Dude, I remember, like, fuck, we met some cool people.
We did. Sunny
Sunny
Days,
Days,
right?
They were the best. Max Vangeli. Felix Cartel played. A bunch of guys who I don't even think DJ anymore.
My
Mason,
first year at
Dancing
Western
Astronauts.
was Avicii. That was my first year
Block Party?
Frosh Week concert. Block Party was Avicii.
Yeah.
Did we go to
Pretty
that?
sick.
We went to it. It wasn't my show though.
So we actually, the first show that Rick threw that I got to open for in London, Ontario was Avicii.
Wow.
In first year, in
Club
front of like
Mansion.
how many people?
500
500 people.
Yeah.
I got to open before. He was like not nobody, but like what basically they booked him for to what he was making a year later was like, it was right before. It was when Bromance came out.
Bromance, yeah.
And the Levels came out a few months after.
Yeah.
And then it was game over. But like I remember I was playing as a first big show I opened for, and like I wasn't really nervous, but I probably should have been knowing what I knew after. But it was like. That was crazy. 500 people. I was drinking like Heinekens with him. He was so like super humble and chill guy.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
We got some crazy stories from that night too.
Yeah.
I
Which we
partied
can-
with Stevie Aoki like a few times, and one of his shows I went to, I was like up, like dancing at the front. Everyone's like pushing me, and he's like, "You," and I was like, "Me." His manager brings me on stage, and like, remember he used to like throw like cake in people's
Yeah.
faces. So like he gave me a cake to like throw in people's faces, and he had a boat, like this inflatable
Yes,
yellow
yes.
boat.
That people ride on, yeah.
Those people were me. He put me in the boat, and I went crowd surfing at a Stevie Aoki concert.
When was that?
It was a long
He
time
came
ago.
to Western.
Came to Western.
And
every
came to
year for,
Western quite a few
10
times.
years
And
in
we
a row.
went. I think I went to one of the shows at the boat.
I went to the one at Mansion and the one at Music Hall.
Music Hall. He had the boat.
Yeah.
I didn't open for him. Who did I open for at Music Hall? That was packed. Data Life.
Data Life was busy.
That was the biggest show I played. It was a couple like 1,000 people in Music
I
Hall.
was
which
there.
is
That was
insane.
nuts. That was nuts.
That was crazy. Man, good times. I
The
actually know
banana
it's-
suits, the
Yeah.
inflatable banana suits.
Yeah. I actually have a picture. I think there's like I'm holding a banana and I'm with. Anyways, I actually recently. So I never really missed DJing and all that stuff. And like when I left Western, I was like, cool, had my fun. Can't keep this like you can't just stay in this and have a job and everything. But lately, I really miss it. Like I think honestly, I'm just
The-
like carrying
the
it. I think I'm
G-Mon
just
Beat
gonna.
Tour.
I really want to get my music back up and range. Carry USB with me. So if I'm ever at a party, but guys, let me go.
Keep it on your key.
Actually, maybe I'll do with Ryan Shepard collab
Shep.
when he's done and stops
Are
recording.
you guys
then I'll
friends with
DJ.
Bad Luxury?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like we all grew up together at Western.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's really cool seeing those guys, how far they've come, and like I'm on the Juniors red carpet, like interviewing them, and it's pretty insane.
Really
That's how
nice.
me and
They're-
you met actually at
Yeah.
Adrian's. Remember?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
They're really, really nice guys. Actually, I went to party with them in like a couple weeks before the lockdown. I was in Vegas with a buddy of mine, and they were there. And we got to party with them in at Omnia, which was really cool seeing them play. But I used to DJ with Joe when I was in. We used to play Up on Carlin together in second year. So me and Joe were like we played, but he always had more passion for the music. He would go produce all that stuff.
He had the radio.
And
show
honestly,
too.
like I know he's not listening, but shout out to him because he stuck with it. And like I DJ'd his radio show at London. I forgot about that.
When I had my Pop and Press website back in the day, my buddy and we interviewed them, and they were staying at this like little tiny Airbnb in Toronto, and they were like, "Kat, we're just figuring it out. Like we're gonna see where it goes." And they had all the instruments; they were doing everything.
And then they went. So then after that, they went to LA, and then that was when Fill Me In came out. I think because they were like sharing a small little like flat in like LA or something. Yeah.
Good for them, man. I hope they go to the moon. Like I hope everything keeps going for them. Like they're really, really nice guys. Like, yeah.
It's pretty cool seeing your friends.
Craziest party
like
was
that.
for sure flying 18 hour or doing an 18-hour layover in Denmark.
Yeah, that was crazy.
We were in Ibiza. We were in Ibiza's Rick's birthday. They were in Denmark playing a show. They're egging Rick on. They're like, you won't come? We're like, dude, we have to go to Barcelona tomorrow to leave. They're like, we knew you wouldn't come. We flipped a coin and we ended up going. Like we literally flew out of our way back across to Denmark. Party with them at this like festival in this small club they played. That part is crazy. Obviously, classic Rick gets on the booth, takes his shirt off. I have the picture.
No, they were egging me.
Yeah.
Joe's like, you won't do it. You won't do it. I'm like,
You won't
"No,
rip your
fine."
shirt?
I flew to a different country. Like, don't tell me I want to take my shirt off.
That was a really
Remember,
fun
I missed
party.
the CO2. I missed the drop on the CO2.
Yeah.
I got the press button. That was
But
Greg hated
that watching them play, even though it was only a 10-minute set, watching them play of that festival
That was
in
super
like the world's oldest amusement park was pretty crazy.
that one was crazy.
That was really cool party. Yeah, shout out to them. Thanks, guys, and Adrian and Smeeds,
Greg.
everybody. Greg.
Yeah.
Anyways, good talk.
Yeah, this has been a blast, Kat.
Yeah.
We feel like we have a lot more stuff we can share, but none of us can share them on air.
Yeah,
We always
I'm
say
like,
kind
it
of-
was amazing. They were amazing.
But yeah, Kat, appreciate you coming on. It's been a
Yeah.
blast, and it's always good catching up with you as well. We've got 2 questions we always ask every guest.
Uh-oh.
the first, if there was a movie about your life, who would you want to star as you? Could be anyone from any point in time.
They have to be an actress.
No, could be anybody.
Yeah.
It's your movie, your life. You're producing it.
Everyone says I'm Kourtney Kardashian.
Oh, I
Okay.
can see that.
Yeah,
I don't watch the Kardashians.
I get it a lot.
Have you ever used it to get into a party?
No.
Would you ever use it to get into a party?
I'm Cat Williams.
No.
I don't need.
No.
Oh my god! What about the name of like the email that I sent out? We were together when we did. I think we were at like Dave's.
First of all, I know there's like I
George
know one
doesn't
Cat
know who you are,
Williams,
right?
a comedian.
Yes, everyone's like, "Are you related to the comedian Cat
That's
Williams?"
what I thought. I'm like, Rick, you booked Cat Williams? She's like, yeah, he's coming soon. I'm like, the comedian from the States? No.
And
Cat
the best part is like you literally wrote like, I hate swearing, but you were like Cat Williams, bitch podcast, and you didn't
I
mean
saw
it.
that. Yeah, I was like, I don't.
He's like, why'd you say bitch? I was like, she actually booked it.
That's what.
Like,
Oh yeah, when he put that, I'm like,
No, because we were out. I saw him at a bar, and I was like, "I'm gonna come on your podcast." And I wrote in his phone, "I'm like, Cat Williams, bitch."
but then I had to write podcast, so George
Yeah,
knows
so
what
that's
we're even
why-
Cat
talking.
Williams, bitch podcast, and I was
That's-
like, "What is that?"
so I was like, is that a persona? Like, is that did she go by like I'm Cat Williams, bitch, or something? Like, I was like,
That was
I
funny.
do go by the Cat Williams, but
that's good.
That's
yeah.
Okay, so Chloe, that's a good one. I haven't
Last
had that.
question: if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Stick with your passion, because it's gonna be okay.
I
Just
like
keep
it.
going. Yeah.
It's good. It's really
Yeah,
good.
because a lot of people will tell you no, and a lot of people, like in all different aspects of my life, and I had a lot of doubts, but I've always just known what I was meant to do. So I've just stuck with it and haven't listened to those people, and look at this life I've created for myself. It's pretty cool.
Now you're out here partying with Rihanna and everybody.
Yeah.
It is pretty cool. Honestly, it's
With the
very
pals, hello.
I'm with the pals.
Yeah.
There you go.
Love it. Yeah,
That's it.
Kat, if people want to find out more about you, what you're doing, how to sneak into get into these cool parties, where can they go? How can they find you?
Yeah, find me on Instagram at the Cat Williams and
Cat with a C?
Cat with a C, and connect with me.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll share all the links in the bio. And other than that, it's been a blast.
Thanks
That's
so
it.
much,
Thanks again for
guys.
coming on. Signing
Yeah.
off, pals. Until next time.
See ya.